Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Monday, the 27th of July, and I'd like to call this meeting to order. We'll first start off with public participation. Here at City Council, there are three ways to submit public comments. One is to submit comments written comments by the meeting day, and to submit written comments during the meeting, and three, attend the meeting live. To submit written comments by meeting day, you please email the city clerk at dalycity.org and include public comment in the subject line. All written comments received by 4 p.m. on meeting day will be provided to the City Council prior to the meeting. Any email comments after 4 p.m. on the meeting date are not guaranteed to be received by the City Council prior to the meeting. Comments are not read out loud into the record. 2. During the meeting, you may visit www.dalycity.org/agendas to submit comments using the public comment form to address the City Council on a specific item or during the public period, and such comments are delivered to the City Council and city staff during the meeting and may be read into the record at the time that they are received. To speak at the meeting, please complete a speaker card located at the entrance to the council chamber and submit it to any staff member as early in the meeting as possible to speak at the meeting. If we can all kindly please rise for the pledge to the flag, those who can. Oh, I did know some new flags up here. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So I hereby call this meeting to order. I'll start with a land acknowledgement. The city of Daly City acknowledges that we are on the ancestral lands of the Ramaytush Ohlone peoples. We recognize their enduring connection to this region and honor their history, culture, and contributions. As the indigenous protectors of this land, we affirm their sovereign rights as the original inhabitants of this land and pay respects to the ancestors, elders, and relatives of the Ramaytush Ohlone peoples. Thank you all. Madam City Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Ms. DiGiovanni,
Present.
Dr. Rod,
Present.
Ms. Perano,
Present.
Ms. Manalo,
Present.
Mr. Sylvester.
Glenn Sylvester present. Thank you very much. The first item on the agenda is presentations, and we have Stanford Medicine's Nourish Diabetes Research Study presentation, and we have Mino V. Mohirer, MD, and also clinical assistant professor at Stanford University. Thank you so much for being here. I'll give you a minute or so to set up, and you have the floor whenever you're ready.
I don't know how to present when everybody's sitting here, but sorry if my back is to you. Good evening, Mayor, the members of Daly City Community Council members, and thank you for welcoming us today. My name is Dr. Meenal Mahari, and this is my colleague, Arti, and we are from Stanford Medicine. We are here to talk about Nourish, a Stanford Medicine project dedicated to culturally tailored nutrition, helping people manage conditions like diabetes without giving up the foods they love. But before I get into a little bit more about Nourish and the study, I wanted to share why this work is personal for me. So I take you really back when I was completing my residency in New York, and that was in 2005. And this was my second year of residency, 2004, and I just finished my ICU rotation, and I was coming off after finishing my night shift. It was approximately, it was 7 p.m., and that means it was approximately 8 a.m. in India, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I got a missed call from my dad. And usually my dad doesn't call me if he knows I'm in the hospital. So I was a little bit worried. I was not sure. You know what happens when we get a call from a parent, and at a time we always have that feeling. And I paused, but I said, I don't know what's going on. So I just continued to walk to my subway station, which I used to take my subway to Union Square. And before heading into the subway, I decided to call him and I said, "Hey, Dad, what's going on? You okay?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm okay. Of course. But I just wanted to let you know I got my blood results, which I took a couple days ago. And the doctor says that my HbA1c, which is a blood test that shows your average blood sugar over the past 3 months, and my fasting sugar is slightly high." So I said, "What's slightly high?" He's like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. It's just slightly high," which usually what parents say, right? And then he said, "But I have met my endocrinologist, my nutritionist, but that's not the reason why I'm calling you. It's 8 a.m. and I just had my tea, which is called chai back in India, right? And so now I want to eat my breakfast. And what do you think I should eat?" And I was like, have you talked to the nutritionist about it? Like, what do you think the nutritionist said to you? And he's like, no, she gave me all of these list of things which I should eat. But I'm asking you, you know what I like to eat. Should I continue to eat what I really like? And then based on that question, I was like, what type of answer should I give him? Because I did not have an answer for him. And I said, well, just follow what your nutritionist has told you to eat, right? That was kind of my thought process. But then now I sat in the subway and I was like, that was a good question which my dad brought up. It's like, what am I supposed to eat? And so that subway ride was actually the first time when I started thinking about something to develop tools and resources for somebody who is just newly diagnosed of diabetes, has all of these questions, wants to know some tools and resources which could help manage. Because many times when we have something like diabetes or anything else, we start thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do next? Just going to give up everything which I love, and that is going to take care of it. And is that sustainable? Probably not, right? Because life happens, food is love, we enjoy all of these things. So anyways, based on that journey is where I started thinking about Nourish. And in 2021, as I was walking with my mentor, Dr. Palaniappan, on beautiful Stanford, roads, I said, hey, I really want to start creating these tools and resources for diabetics. And that's what I decided to start thinking. And she said, okay, go ahead. It's a good idea. The floor is yours, and start working on it. And so I got the green light, I got a little bit of funding, and I'm here today, 5 years later, talking to community that matters most, and with the tools which we have built. So remember the first question which my dad asked me. The first question he asked, hey, what should I eat, right? And that is something which my patients come up and ask me every single time once they have newly diagnosed diabetes. Like, what are we supposed to eat? Should we give up all the foods we love, or should we make any changes? What changes should we make? And these are common questions which come up. I think so the slide deck just wants to go forward, but I will probably go back a little bit. But anyways, so based on that first question, we built a recipe library, which is taking familiar dishes, but also many times my patients ask, can I eat the foods which I have been eating since growing up? And my answer was, talk to the nutritionist, but I wanted to do better than that. That's why I asked my registered dietitian, hey, what can we do so that these familiar dishes for my culture can be culturally tailored? It could be South Asian, Vietnamese, Japanese, Korean, Filipino, all of these patients which come up. And we said, let's come up with guidelines which fit between American Diabetic and Heart Association guidelines, because the carbohydrates are important. Yeah. So is the salt important. So is the fat important. But how do we modify this dish? So that's our recipe library. So now I can give a better answer to my dad and some other patients who come up to me and ask same questions. The other questions which come up is, the second thing which he said is, I went to the nutritionist. And I've often seen when we go to a nutritionist, there is so much information the nutritionist wants to give us, which is amazing. But when you come out of that nutritionist office, sometimes patients feel lost because they're like, okay, what do I do? How many things am I supposed to do? That's why we created something called as a nutrition video series. And so people feel prepared to ask the dietitian right questions. And again, my dad, he's doing 2 days ago, he called me and his HbA1c is down 10 points in the last, 5 years when he was diagnosed of, and also was not doing that great with diabetes management. But he has implemented all of these things, and I can better have a better conversation with him because now I have built these tools and resources. So many people like my dad and many of my patients are happier. I feel connected to them because I can answer these questions. So before we go further, I would like to ask everyone a simple question, and you can nod or raise your hand. But how many of you know someone, a parent, grandparent, a sibling, a friend, neighbor living with type 2 diabetes? And so I see, wow. So many hands reminds us this work really, really matters. I'll go to the second slide. Before that, a question for everyone, exactly. So the Filipino Americans experience higher rate of type 2 diabetes, so do South Asians. So this study which I'm going to talk to you about is for both of these participants. And often, they often, I feel, they're underrepresented in the research. And in fact, 1 out of 10 Filipino American adults has type 2 diabetes, one of the second highest, and the first is the South Asian. And every community, of course, deserves to be represented in the research that shapes healthcare. Next slide. So who are we? I wanted to bring this not as just like a physician-led research, but I wanted to bring a collaborative research. So we have registered dietitians, I have medical students, I have clinical research coordinators like Arti, I have R&DE chefs, because food is fun, food is enjoyment, food is social. And I cannot tell my dad, eat something, and he's like, that doesn't really taste good. So I had to make sure that the modified recipes are tasting good as well. They have to be delicious, right? And so throughout my career, I've always learned that healthcare isn't one size fits all. I cannot talk in the same way as I'm talking to one ethnic patient the same way to the other ethnic. I have to be connected, and I need to know what type of food they enjoy eating. And so at its core, Nourish is, wants to foster this deep connection between people and the food they love. Again, it's important. My one question which my dad and my patients are, what is balanced eating? And balanced eating could be many different ways, but the way I teach is non-starchy vegetables. And many of my patients don't know what non-starchy vegetables are. What is 25% protein? What is 25% carbohydrates? And that is something which I can easily discuss with them during my office visits. Otherwise, that touch point is forgotten. Next slide, please. So what is Nourish? Nourish is a project at Stanford Medicine, an initiative focused on culturally tailored nutrition. I wanted to create tools and resources for all 5 sub-Asian groups, and that's what we've been doing for the last 5 years. My goal was never to ask people to give up the foods they love, because that means they're going to go into a social gathering and feel they should not eat, or on that night they want to forget that they have diabetes and eat something which is going to affect their blood sugar 7 days later, and that means they're probably going to get a call from their doctor, hey, what happened? What happened, right? So I wanted to create tools or something which they can enjoy with family. Actually, our recipes can be enjoyed by anybody. My son is 18 and he runs cross country. He's heading off to college. But he loves the Filipino food. He actually enjoyed the Filipino torta talong so much. He was so happy. But so we believe the best research is developed with communities like all of you. It's not, it's not simply about them. Next slide, please. Now, this is kind of a slide which is a mouthful, but in short, what we wanted to do is we have created these modified recipes. Now we really want to know what is the blood glucose or blood sugar response to these nourish modified meals, right? And so that is what this study, which we got IRB approved, and this was an NIH study. So this is where I'm going. Next slide, please. So before I get into logistics, I just wanted to share why we built this study in the first place. Very little research has tested culturally specific nutrition approaches to our community. And the question we asked was simple. Do we give up the food we love? And if not, what do we eat? How do we eat?
Yeah.
Do we modify the recipes? If we modify, how do we modify? And if the modification is done rightly, is it still going to be helpful? Is it going to be easy for people to manage the diabetes? And also, are the dishes going to still taste like home? Are the dishes going to be something which people can adhere to even after the study is done? Because the study is only 4 weeks, but it's beyond that is when we want to continue to adhere to these recipes. So just because we are managing diabetes doesn't mean we don't need to be in social functions, doesn't mean we should not be eating with family, doesn't mean that we should give up the food we love. So instead of assuming we wanted to actually measure it, that's where the continuous glucose monitor comes. So does eating culturally tailored Filipino, South Asian, Vietnamese, all of these meals, what does it happens to the blood sugar? Does it get better or not really? So this study was built in partnership with the Stanford Residential Dining, Stanford Occupational Health, which is where I practice, and Tastermonial, which is a third-party vendor who will give us the CGMs and also an app where you can log the meals. Next slide, please. So what does taking part of the study look like? Of course, first is enrolling, right? And who can enroll? Anybody who is above 18, type 2 diabetic, and not on insulin, because when you're on insulin, you have to be on a stricter diet. And so other than that, anybody can be part of the study. And this study officially begins on August 31st, so please keep that date in mind. It's August 31st. And here what participation looks like. First, the participants enroll, and if they're eligible, then they will actually be called by my research coordinator, Arti, who will go over a couple forms. They'll wear a small glucose monitor for 4 weeks, which is 2 sensors, so they can understand what happens when they eat their food versus the nourish modified meals, just to kind of get an idea. So this is called something called as in research is called a crossover study, means you are your own control, meaning you eat self-selected diet, means the food which you usually eat versus the nourish modified meals. And during one of the 4 weeks, you get 1 week full of 1 week's 3 meals, which are chef prepared, and you can pick them up from Redwood City, Stanford, or San Jose. And throughout the study, the participants will also complete few short surveys. Sorry, it's research. There is some surveys involved. But for that, we also want to give a small $75 gift card as a thank you for being part of the study. With all the Stanford research studies, participant information is kept confidential and handled according to strict research and privacy guidelines. I just wanted to reiterate that. And my hope is together we can get valuable insights that we can improve diabetes care for Filipino, South Asian, and other communities as well. Next slide. What is the technology behind the study? Continuous glucose monitor. Like I told you, my dad has been using continuous glucose monitor for years now. He's an engineer. He loves data. So he enjoys it. But that has allowed his HbA1c. Remember, I did not tell you the number, but it was 9.2 and now it is 6.7. And that makes me really happy because he is now able to manage his own diabetes without anybody constantly nagging him or nudging him. He knows what to eat. And a continuous glucose monitor, I'm sure you've seen it. It's a small sensor patch which is worn on the arm, and it's for 4 weeks. So you get 2 sensors, which is for free. And also you get a complete walkthrough and orientation. No needles and no finger pricks. How amazing is that? Because otherwise your finger is going to be sore for such a long time, right? And it reads the blood sugar automatically, continuously, and you don't have to worry about that. So it tells you what's going on, when you eat food. Mm-hmm. Next slide, please. Well, this is my favorite slide because I'm extremely, extremely excited to show this. And one of the things we are more excited about is the food, right? These are not unfamiliar diet meals. And this has been, we have worked really for the last 3 years to come up with these meals. And this has been lot of hard work by my med students and also by my interns and research coordinators who are from Filipino background. And they are the ones who came up with these we have 15 dishes people can actually choose from, like arroz caldo, and I think so my son's favorite is torta talong, which I did not even know how to pronounce, but now I do. And they are thoughtfully developed to support healthy blood sugar. But we want to see what we have created, does it do what it's supposed to do? And that's why the study is going to be so important. Next slide, please. So please, I'm requesting, please help us make a difference. Today we are looking for 15 Filipino adults in the Bay Area who are 18 and older, type 2 diabetics, and not taking insulin. By participating, you'll be improving our understanding of diabetes in Filipino community and contribute to culturally informed healthcare. Now, even if you don't qualify, please help us share this opportunity with someone who does.
Yeah.
Next slide, please. So please join our study. I really wanted to bring the study to this community because I truly appreciate this opportunity and introduce Nourish Project and also the study to your community. So thank you, Mayor Manalo. And also, whether you're interested in participating yourself or simply know someone who might qualify, we would love your help. Please spread the word, and please feel free to scan the QR code. I'll keep this for a minute or so, and then as soon as this, so the QR code just goes to the questionnaire, and as soon as that is done, Arati will be reaching out to you and going over the eligibility criteria. So even if you're thinking of a family member or a friend while you're going through this presentation in your mind tonight, please, I hope you'll share this opportunity with them. Sometimes the most important person in the room isn't the one who participates, but who helps us reach someone who can. And I appreciate your time. And if you have any questions, please, my email is mmahari@stanford.edu, or you can send it to nourish@stanford.edu. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Doctor, before you leave, I'm sure there's going to, my colleagues would like to make a few comments.
Yeah.
So please, if you would entertain us.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Please. I'll start off with Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I'd like to thank you personally. I know it's so important. Personally, remember my grandmother having shots, and it's throughout the family. Some have it, some don't. But you know that if there's a way to use food to get better, what a better way for anyone in the community. And so I just wanted to thank you. And that food did look good.
It is, and it tastes good too.
Yeah, most important.
If my 18-year-old enjoys it, probably you also.
Everybody will enjoy it. So personally, I'd like to thank you. And I took some photos, and I'm going to be sharing this with some friends and family as well. So thank you so much.
Yeah, we have flyers. I'm going to keep it on the table over there.
thank
So
you.
if you want, you can just take the flyers as well. So I appreciate your kind thoughts.
Yeah, I'm thrilled to hear it. And thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
Sure. Councilmember Manalo, I would like to defer you near the end because you were the impetus in getting Doctor here, and would like to find out what was behind that. I'm now going to move to Dr. Rod.
Dr. Manal, thank you for providing us with that presentation.
Thank you, Tom.
I'm just going to be upfront. I've been battling diabetes half my life.
Yeah.
And I grew up with my mom, who was a type 1 diabetic, and when she saw me get diagnosed with diabetes right when I graduated from undergrad, she felt like she failed. Yeah. And one thing that I learned, and as a young person that was battling diabetes at early 20s, you feel like, this shouldn't be happening to me at this point in time. But one thing that made me realize the hope was that education played a real role in equalizing that anxiety, that depression, and I've used half my life to research this as well. Yeah. And so my brother and I co-authored a article on Filipino Americans in health shortly after my mom passed away. I was involved with a UCSF study called the PILAM Go for Health by Dr. Melinda Sarmiento Bender, where we talked about reframing exercise towards movement. And then we had pedometers that we had measuring the circumference of your waist, and not trying to rob somebody of their cultural food. And then I had the privilege working last year when I was mayor with a student from Stanford. She's an undergrad. Her name is Marjorie Luzuriaga, and she co-authored a piece led by Dr. Dante Anthony Tolentino. And she talked about the whole thing about culture responsive, family-centered diabetes self-management support. And then it was one of her pet projects, but I know that she's an undergrad, she's trying to graduate, and she was trying to create like a supportive app, and it's still in the works. But I just want to say thank you for the work that you provided for us, and really disaggregating the data, because when it comes to Asian Pacific Islanders, we're always lumped in one big old stat, and it doesn't really look at the specific impact that it does to each and every ethnic group. And I'm just really, and to talk about CGM, I recently, I'm now using a CGM, and it's definitely changed my life as well. I mean, it's kind of like a weird transition, but after you are, I think that's what gives me the comfort again. The education is the greatest equalizer, because then you're able to see firsthand what are your blood sugars, right? And I know my wife hates it when it goes off at night and goes really high, and she's like, "Damn, I'm trying to go to sleep." But it's definitely been a game changer, and hopefully the technologies become even more advanced, where it doesn't. It's like, I don't know, an Apple Watch or something. I don't know.
Exactly.
And so I just want to say thank you for providing that information, and I'd love to connect and
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Rod. Councilmember DeGiovanni.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I want to thank you for your personal story, because I think that a lot of our careers or pathways are done from personal experience, and that's your father, right?
Yeah.
He was concerned about what to eat, and that you should have the answer, and that you wanted to give him the right answer. And then to address our Filipino community, they are looking for answers, right? Because then they say, "Oh, I'm not eating the white rice," so they're really trying, and so this is such a big asset for them, because we all know in whatever culture that indeed food is celebrations. It's where you sit down, you socialize, and but you want to stay healthy. So I know plenty of them that my friends, that they wear and then the alarm will go off if we're somewhere, and then they go, uh-oh. I was even at someone's house, and they passed around a glucose monitor as a kind of like a joke, but not really a joke, because they were serving some foods, and they were kind of monitoring everybody at the table in a loving way. So I think that those things are to be aware. So they have the awareness, and now you brought another piece to this, and I thank Dr. Rod for sharing his personal story, because there's nothing like the person that carries it forward. And the side effects of having diabetes, as we know, are the strokes, and it's pretty severe. And we don't want any of that to happen. If we can prevent that from anyone happening, which, I thank you for all your research, and that I like what you said when you do your development with the community.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're not doing it absentee of the community, you're developing it with. That's a big key, and it's all culturally accepted, so it really doesn't go away from their, because they're trying, but your guidance, I think this is a great study, and who knows what will come out of it. It will continue for you and your life's work, because indeed it's a life's work, and you're saving lives. And I appreciate you being here, because hopefully we can save lives and make a quality of life better, and then it can be passed on for generations, like Dr. Rod, so that he's also a professor. So he's a role model in many ways to many people. Not trying to put him on the spot, but I think that that's important. And then one more area that he can be a role model, all of us actually, and to make sure that they have the information. And with your guidance and your intelligence and your gift, obviously it's a gift to bring you down and bring us to here, that we can save lives and make the, still enjoyment,
Exactly.
still dancing,
Yep.
cha-cha-cha, whatever, but making sure that they have something that they know that will betterment for them, rather than attending and having diabetes. Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much. And I just want to end up with, I love stories, so I'm going to end up with one small 30-second story. And my best friend she's 52, but she has type 2 diabetes. And whenever we go out, the conversation which we have is now much more of friendship rather than about food.
Right.
Because she doesn't have to think about that. Because there is a continuous glucose monitor which she can get, the data from. And the food which she eats is the South Asian food, which my team and I have created. So there are two populations which are going to go through the study. One is South Asian and one is Filipino. And now when she comes, she doesn't have to think
good.
twice about, hey, what am I eating today? And is my sugar going to be okay when I go home? Because she doesn't have to think. I already created that menu. So we talk about things other than food, that noise is gone.
Yeah.
That means we have a good quality, friendly conversation. And I think so that is what I want to do for anybody who is managing diabetes. And everybody's always trying their best to take care of themselves. And I just want to be part of that as well.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember DiGiovanni. I'm going to start off by saying, for your son, Moscado is an excellent dish. That's a lot of carbohydrates.
Yeah.
And I definitely know that. I do believe that you can let him know we do have a business in Daly City of Filipino delicacies that is mostly vegan,
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
right? So that's for your son.
Yes.
Doctor, I'm very impressed with your program here, because the problem that some people have is it's very difficult to obtain a CGM. Very difficult. And I'll share with you, I've been a diabetic for over 20 years. And I've never been at the right weight, basically. I think the last time I can recall, what I weigh today, I weighed at 16 years old.
Wow.
Wow.
And becoming aware,
Yeah.
because being a diabetic, it's very dangerous.
Yes.
And especially when it starts to affect certain things, such as your vision,
Yep.
loss of limb.
Yep. Kidneys.
So basically, that was a rude awakening call for me.
Yep.
I've been a type 2 diabetic, and I was insulin dependent until approximately 1 year ago.
Oh.
Wow.
My A1C 8 months ago was 11.1. Today it's 6.7.
Like my dad.
I think that's very, very important. And your first question that you asked was, what do you eat?
Yeah.
Well, when I was looking at the pictures up there, I'll eat any one of those today. Any one of those. But the difference in eating any of those is the quantity.
Correct.
I mean, I can put down 3 burritos
Yeah.
in my earlier days, and a whole plate full of rice. I can put that down. Matter of fact, before I came to the meeting tonight, I ate the Filipino dish called sisig with rice.
So we have that as well.
Okay.
Yes.
But the amount of rice, it was like 2 or 3 tablespoons.
Yeah.
And I was satisfied.
Yeah.
Now, the only problem with the CGM is you will know if, like Dr. Rod says, if your blood pressure, your sugars
sugar.
go up.
Oh, yeah.
Because it will start alarming. And I've looked around, and especially when I go to lunch with friends, and I hear that familiar sound, I said, that ain't mine. Check yours. Check yours. And I'm hoping it doesn't go off tonight because usually your sugars go up within an hour and a half.
Yes, exactly,
And I know
90
this
minutes.
meeting is going to last a little bit longer than an hour and a half. So if you folks are still here within the next 40 minutes and it goes off, you see, I know what you did. So, but I'm looking at the qualifications because I don't know if I would qualify. I mean, I'm not on insulin anymore, and the blood sugars are down, but it's in a way to get my friends to also become more aware. But that's not the whole purpose. Just to get the CGM for them, they need to move forward and get it for themselves, rather than me being an enabler. Hey, take these. So, doctor, I just want to say I thank you so much for being here. It allowed me the opportunity to share some personal experience. And what's that commercial about the bald guy? I'm not bald, but I'm a client or something like that. Tom is funny.
Rogaine. Rogaine.
Rogaine.
Yeah.
What does he say? I'm not bald. I'm a client or something like that. But anyway,
I'm not just a client, I'm the president.
thanks, Medina. So, I mean, this is all good, and I'm just so ecstatic. I just can't wait. This is great for Daly City, and because of our population, I think it's 35% Filipinos, and you're in the right place. But that's not the point. It could be for anyone and everyone. So, but this is a great start. So, I want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank
All
you,
right.
everybody.
Now, no,
Not yet, okay.
no, not yet, doctor, because generally the mayor has the last word.
Yeah.
But as per your slide, it was Councilmember Jocelyn Manalo who caused this to happen tonight, so she's going to have the last word.
Yes.
Okay, Councilmember Manalo, please.
Thank you so much, Mayor. And thank you so much, Dr. Mahir, for bringing this study forth and sharing the story of why. And so when Jo Beth, she was a former news person, reached out and said you had this study, it was so important to share with community.
Thank you.
Given a high population and just being able to have more research, as Dr. Rod has mentioned, is so important. And finding ways where food will taste good and hopefully you won't get the beep, right? And so I think it's really around education. And what I'm going to ask is, city manager, is it possible for us to put this on our social media so that folks can, see this? And I know you're looking for 15 folks to add to your study, but thank you for your dedication. I think it's a resounding value in Daly City that we want everyone to be healthy, and that diabetes is something that, as you asked everyone in the room, do you know someone? And so that education is key, and so thank you for your commitment to that.
No, of course, thank you. And I think so. I would like to say just one thing is, for me, the nutrition education has allowed to develop the trust between me and my patients, because they come in for back pain, but if I bring up, hey, I know your ethnic food, it just lights up their, there's light in their eyes, because they're like, okay, this doctor actually cares for me. And is not just talking about blood pressure and diabetes, but actually does care for me, And a registered dietitian who I started this project with, she said, there has to be rice, there has to be noodles. You cannot just take it up because it's non-sustainable. We grew up eating those carbs. So we have to find a way in which that can also be part of the meal. And that's why we follow the American Diabetic Association plate method. But what we have done is that taken the plate method and now created cultural plate methods. So South Asian, Filipino, Korean, Japanese, everybody has that plate method. We actually collaborated with a sushi food truck. And it was in 2 hours, the bowls were sold pretty fast, and people were not sleepy because you don't put 2 cups of rice. It's only 1 cup of rice. And that was enough. As just Mayor said, the food is enough once you add in vegetables. And so there is a lot of, our website is, with Stanford, everything takes a little bit of time, but our website should be up pretty soon, in like maybe 2 weeks or so. And we have the nutrition video series, which is going to be free. People can watch it. The study, there are more upcoming studies as well. We just got another study which was funded. So we are trying to teach the residents who are going to be upcoming physicians in what questions they should ask the patients when the patients are of different ethnicities, because that touch point is lost. I was never given any nutrition education when I was in residency. And this is my kind of thank you to my dad that, hey, you have done this and let me do something for you. And many people like my dad and my patients. So, and also, this cannot be just, I cannot take all the credit because all my team works hard, and without you and without the community, this study will just remain on paper. So thank you for your help. Thank you for your kind words. I will sleep with a smile on my face. And I appreciate all of you a lot.
Doctor.
So thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor, and good luck.
Thank you.
Hopefully you would come back and,
Yeah, you just call me and I'll come back with the next study. No worries.
because we're very interested, especially our Daly City populace. I think it would be good information to know.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you again. I appreciate
Thank you so
all of
much,
you. Thank
Doctor.
you.
Doctor.
All right, have a good evening. All right, the next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of July 13th. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve regular meeting minutes of July 13.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
I think I heard Councilmember DiGiovanni. Am I correct? Were you the one who seconded?
Yeah,
Because I
yes.
heard a second over here. I
doesn't
thought you were
matter.
first.
Yeah,
Were you?
it doesn't matter, either one. We're so amenable.
Okay, I'm just trying to
That's fine.
keep order and fairness here. Thank you. So we have a first and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any
I'll have one-
opposed? Oh, Dr.
One
Rod.
abstention.
I'm sorry?
One abstention, sorry.
One abstention.
I
Oh,
wasn't,
you
I wasn't
weren't here.
present.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Dr. Rod. So we do have one abstention. With that being said, the motion carries. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Rod, for the
Yes,
reminder.
for sure.
The next item is the approval of the agenda for tonight.
So move?
Second?
We have a first and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The agenda for this evening has been approved. Thank you. Oh. Thank you. All right, the next item on the agenda is oral comment, and I do have a few cards here, and I'm going to try to put them in order. Looks like we have a few on Edgewood Park, and I don't see it here on the agenda. No, we don't. So we're going to take those comments first, since it's not on the agenda. Thank you. Okay. Before I move on, Emily Stoops? Emily, I didn't see, was there a particular item you wanted to speak on? Oh, okay. And I have a few others here. Gilbert Shrub? Shrub?
Like a shoe?
Shoot.
SCHUB.
UH, sorry.
Shoe. Okay. It's like a shoe, but with a H. Okay, sir. Is there a particular item? You just put myself.
Just a Sandra, I'm involved with Edgewood Park.
I'm sorry, I'm hearing Bayview Park.
Yeah, Edgewood Park.
Oh, Edgewood. Okay, I'll stick you in that pile. How about the Tatum King?
Westlake.
Westlake, okay. And we also have Rich Swan,
Westlake Park.
Westlake. Thank you. And we also have Rick Pacheco,
Edgewood.
Edgewood. Thank you. Okay, so we have Edgewood, we have Westlake, and we have Regency Centers. All right, so the majority of the cards I have here is on Edgewood Park, and we're going to start with Edgewood Park. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to allow 2 minutes comments for each one. I think so everyone can get a chance to speak. And I'll start off with Rick Pacheco, and after Rick,
Actually, can we have Richard speak first because he
Richard,
was the proposer of all of this?
Rich Cairo. Rich Cairo?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Since you spoke up, sir, I want to give you the option. Who do you think should speak after him? Anna? I want folks to be happy here. And and who do you recommend after Anna, sir?
If there is nobody after Anna, then I will go ahead and take.
Oh, there's quite a few. Mr. Shu, Mr. Pacheco, Mr. Cho.
Sang.
Okay, that's the way.
All right.
So next one up will be Anna. Okay, sir. Thank you.
I got 2 minutes. Let me put my
Okay,
timer
you have
on.
the floor, sir.
Here's my timer. First of all, good evening, Mr. Mayor, the council, and Daly City community. I really appreciate everybody, just being here. Little background on me. I'm a Daly City resident my whole life, 63 years. 2001, I bought a house off of Gambetta. It's Melissa Circle. And I walk my dog through there every day through Edgewood Park. So I saw these things, and I'll go right to my notes. During these walks, I consistently, I wrote a petition to bring attention to the following: illegal parking in the red zones, fire lanes, owners not picking up after their dogs, and the main issue of illegal dumping of large items like mattresses, furniture, and appliances. This problem is 90% caused by the renters in the apartments on Lasan Avenue. There are 4 plexes up there. I did visit Republic Waste Company, and apparently the tenants abide by the same rules as single-family homes, which is once a year they have a big item pickup. They're not going by those rules, though. Anyway, okay. Where they have one free pickup a year, not every day or a week, that is convenient for them. And the pickup must be in front of their own building, not in the park, okay? I believe a solution would be to put signage up to include the fine schedule that will be applied to who you catch, and also video cameras at various locations to discourage and identify the violators. I met the city manager, Tom Piccolotti, a couple of Sundays ago, and he showed a lot of clout and interest in trying to correct that. He had the garbage picked up that very Sunday. The cars that were parked in the fire zones, they were gone, whether they were towed away or got tickets and moved. I was very impressed, and also I've gotten a lot of, so far, support with Teresa Pronio, Justin Manalo, and Annette Hipona. She helped me with a lot of information. I hope you, the city council, can continue to patrol the fire lanes, fire lane violations. Just finishing up. Perhaps we can look at Oakland and what they're doing. Oakland is considering having public bring in their large items to the facilities once every 3 months. My petition goal was 100. Today we have 205 people that signed the petition. So thank you, and I hope we can do something together. We can work out, make the community a better place. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cairo. Anna? Hi. Good evening.
Good evening to all of you, Mayor. I stood before the council almost 32 years ago. I'm only 20, though, so figure that number out, to talk about the same park. Okay, so I've been a resident of Daly City for 50 years. Some 31 years ago, many of us in the neighborhood of Edgework, right below on East Vista is where my house backs into the park. Got together with the council member, and we worked on trying to figure out how to beautify Edgewood Park. Not only did we clean up, but the city council at that moment gave money earmarked toward Edgewood Park, and we got a new slide and all those things, okay? And we appreciate it. The ribbon cutting was held 27 years ago.
Wow.
And I was pregnant with my son, who's 27. So it was somewhere around that time. But the process wasn't easy. It was very difficult for us, okay, as residents. The park received a beautiful facelift, but it's kind of time for another, 27 years ago. So 5 years ago, so let me tell you the struggles we've gone through as residents. 5 years ago, I called the parks director requesting a poop bag dispenser. I was rejected. So I went around to all the parks in Daly City, and I took pictures and counted of all the poop dispensers, and we were the only park who had zero. So I sent them that information, and I got a poop bag dispenser, and we just recently got a second one. But I just want to share that really tiny information to tell you how it's been neglected. And one time I called Recology to remove 10 microwaves, mattresses, furniture, and it's not my problem. I said, well, whose problem is it then? So we as residents can do our part, but we need support from all of you. Okay, this is not new. This problem is not new. It's been ongoing. So our slide is down. It's broken. It's the parts are not available because it's so old. Our neighborhood needs, our park needs your help. That's why I'm here. So I moved away from my speech simply because I couldn't concentrate. But anyway, thank you. And hopefully I will look over my window and find the slide working again and have that garbage removed. And I know you'll come in for us. And thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Okay, Sang Hee Cho. Oh, who are you, sir?
I'm Rick Pacheco, Mayor
The
Glenn.
Pacheco? Okay.
I thought you had me batting third.
Well, hey.
I can go ahead and bat cleanup, so not a
No,
problem.
no, it's good. And then after you, I have Mr. Sang Hee Cho. Welcome, Mr. Pacheco.
Okay, great. Mayor Glenn and Pam and Justin, we know each other, and Rod, you were at many of our East Vista, with Victoria. But pleasure to see you again, and Teresa, I voted for you. My name is Rick. I reside at the top of the hill. I'm neighbors with Anna and Ed. And my parents were born in San Francisco in 1930, Filipino community, and we moved to Daly City in 1960 when I was 5 years old. So how were we invested in Daly City? My mom retired in 1989 after 26 years of service with the Daly City Police Department. I retired from the Jefferson Elementary School District 4 years, 10 months, 27 days ago. I'm not counting. But I did move away from Daly City in 85, and I moved back in 2007. And what I saw shocked and appalled me with the graffiti and the garbage that was in front of houses on our streets. So let me give you an example. East Mulkey and Hillside, that Hillside corridor, beige apartment complex, garbage all the time. You know that. Alp and Mission, you're going up Mission, you make the right on Alp, War Memorial Community Center, garbage. Now, I work for facilities for the school district, and every time there was garbage at school sites, I got the call. I had to pick that stuff up. Furniture, mattresses. Hanover, between Whittier and Lowell, George Washington, SBA on Abbott, Woodrow Wilson on the Miriam Street corridor. So we have laws on the books, Chapter 8.32 of the Municipal Code, and I really would just like to hope that we can teach and reteach our neighbors through fines and enforcement. And Tom, really appreciate that you took the brass ring and you helped out on a couple Sundays ago and cleaned up. But again, you know that Tuesday or Wednesday after it happened again. So let me just finish off. At 71 years old, my fisticuff days are over. I don't want to fight. You can get injured by engaging with people that do this. We have to change people's minds, but it might be tough enforcement with that. So I'm hoping that our city can come together to address a problem that we all see, a problem that we talk about, And enough is not done right now, but let's go ahead and continue the dialogue so that we can push it forward and stop the junk. So I appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Rick. Okay, Mr. Sang Hee Cho, and after him, we'll have Gilbert Chu.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Council. I've been a resident near Edgewood Park for 4 years, and more recently, a father to our 6-month-old daughter. So I'm invested in the parks she'll grow up enjoying. I'm here with solutions and not just complaints. Parking. Edgewood Park is one of this city's most underrated parks, but non-adjacent residents and visitors have no short-term parking options. Opening that up would bring more activity, more eyes on the park, and likely reduce illegal parking, not increase it. Secondly, improvements. The lower playground, as Anna alluded to, needs real investment. The sand pit is a constant maintenance burden and a safety hazard. I've personally seen broken glass in it. And the park's famous slide has been boarded off with plywood for over a year with zero notice from Public Works. Meanwhile, the upper area is this beautiful lawn with eucalyptus shade trees, ocean views, and a basketball court. Same park, but it feels like 2 different decades. That gap needs to close. And lastly, pull-up bars. At Magical Bridge's groundbreaking at Hillside Park, I had asked the designer whether pull-up bars were being considered. The answer was no. 3 assisted adult fitness exercise pieces instead. And even Magical Bridge staff seemed perplexed that no pull-up bars were being installed. Just think, a $4 million playground effort, yet no pull-up bars. The designer confirmed a multi-height pull-up bar could replace one of those pieces at comparable cost. I understand the goal for this park is accessibility for all abilities, but that should mean adding options, not swapping out or omitting classics like pull-up bars. Kids need to be able to hang and build upper body strength too, not just adults. I'm asking council to ask staff why Magical Bridge isn't including this equipment and to consider it for Edgewood Park too. Bottom line, these improvements would bring more people into our parks, discourage illegal activity, and support the city's age-friendly goals. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cho. And we have Mr. Gilbert Chu, and then that's it. You're the last one, sir. Hi, good evening.
Great. Good evening, Mayor and
Okay.
Council. Appreciate you letting me speak. So I came here in support of Edgewood Park. My friend Rick here, we grew up together. We live on Castle Street. I still live there. I moved back there again. And the amount of garbage, like I go through Guadalupe Canyon often, and the amount of garbage and mattresses that's thrown here, it's like the whole city's kind of gone down a little bit. My whole concern is there something we can do with the sanitary issues? Is like, for instance, Guadalupe Canyon has cameras, speeding cameras. I'm just wondering if they could do a little bit more as regards that, and maybe even the parks where they can keep an eye on these people that are throwing this stuff out. They do it all the time. Like they do a great job cleaning it. They cut the weeds and everything off. But then you go there and there's furniture laying there, there's mattresses, and I'm not even so concerned about that. They'll take like regular garbage you can throw in a can and throw it on there, you know. And I seen one time the officer came by and when somebody was doing it, and they busted them, which is great. My concern is that the Daly City, a city I really love, grew up there, like I said. I'm just concerned is it's turning into like a dumpy place. People walk their dogs, and generally they clean up after the dogs in my neighborhood. I live on Castle Street. But I have like tambark in front of my house, and I got it all nice and neat. And the dogs will scratch and throw tambark and everything. They'll clean up after the dog poop, but the rest of the stuff is like, it's kind of like an unconcern about the neighbors. And I'm very concerned about how the neighborhood looks. So I'm just curious if there's something we can do to improve the sanitariness of like Edgewood Park and other parks in the city. Because I've always loved Daly City, and I think it's a beautiful city. So that's just my concern. Thank you for listening. Oh, and that doctor, Maher, oh, it was excellent. I mean, I think we all have health issues. I got a fatty liver, and I'm working on that. My wife has borderline diabetes, but
Thank you.
appreciate having her on here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chu. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on the issue about Edgewood Park, apparently you folks have came here tonight to speak, and I want to give you my thoughts. I mean, this is normally not done, but hearing you folks and speaking with staff and knowing about certain resources that we have in Daly City, I wanted to put that out as Mr. Chu had made mention. What can we do? First of all, first and foremost, Daly City has a website called iHelp, dalycity.org, iHelp. And you know the saying goes, a closed mouth does not get fed. And generally, when you utilize iHelp, has been my experience. I've used it many times. I've driven around the city, and you just take a picture, send it to iHelp, and you'll get a response within 72 hours. So that's one resource. The vice mayor and I are on a committee called Illegal Dumping, and we've been on that committee for approximately 4 months now. City Council approved a $15,000 grant for any resident to apply to obtain a camera. And we will pay for that camera. And all you have to do is we're going to concentrate on the hot spots first. And it sounds like this is a hot spot. And I think if you already have a camera and would provide the video footage to police when they ask or code enforcement, I would like to see the program say, well, I think we can pay you for having that camera, for putting it up in the first place. So, I mean, that's what I would like to see done. Besides the illegal dumping task force, which that's going to be instituted very soon, we spoke about iHelp, and let me see. One of the speakers spoke of our city manager being out there on a Sunday. Isn't he off on? You off on Sunday, aren't you, sir? No, he's never off. So that's a testament in itself
Right,
as
on
to the city
24/7.
manager being out there. And if anybody's going to help make and get things done, it will be him. And hopefully, Anna, you won't have to wait another 32 years.
I'll be 10 feet under. Edgewood Park will be a mile.
You know, Anna, I'll be before you. No, but on the serious side, I'm really impressed that the city does care, and from the comments I've seen thus far tonight, I think it's something that's on our radar now, and we're going to move forward. We hope to move forward, and
Can I just make one comment?
Yeah.
I just also want to thank Daly City PD, especially Bob Carmen. He's retired now, but we had a lot of drug dealing up at the top from like noon to 3. I could see it from my window. And Bob and myself and another police officer developed a relationship. Call me when they're up there. And they did this was years ago. This was about 24 years ago. And while children were playing, this drug dealing was going on. So we have a lot of history in terms of really trying to improve things. But Daly City PD was amazing that they helped us as a neighbor to get that. So it's been through a lot.
thank you. That's very important, and I also believe our public works were out there and they did something to the curb. Did they paint the curb?
They were painted red.
They were painted red. So we're going to do the best that we can. Thank you all for coming here this evening and sharing your concerns with the city council. Thank you so much. All right, so that's Edgewood Park. We have a few more cards. We got 3 on Westlake. So I'm going to call those folks up now for their public comment. Rich Swan, and after Mr. Swan, we'll have Emily Stoops, and then Tatum King. Good evening, Mr. Swan.
Good evening. The Westlake Park proposal is that the Olympic Club will commit $10 million to alterations and improvements in the Dolger Senior Center. This is a 20-year commitment extendable for another 15 years. In return, the Olympic Club is guaranteeing not less than 25 hours a week of public recreational access, including Sundays, primarily for public use. Is that all? 25 hours. Does this mean that Saturdays could be restricted use for the Olympic Club members only? I use the facility almost every day, and I've spoken to many people while I've been at Dolger. Not one person wants synthetic turf. All people are alarmed at the proposal to have controlled access fencing. Nobody likes the idea of the Olympic Club having exclusive use of Dolger facilities at any time. Actually, not one resident I've spoken with wants to share our senior center with the Olympic Club. Residents are alarmed that they've heard little or nothing about this significant proposed change to the operation of our senior center. And there are numerous loose ends in the document signed by the city manager on June 24th of this year. Like, what is the club building and will residents have full access? What are the so-called facilities? Do they include the gym, cafeteria, and meeting rooms? The document says that, subject to reasonable coordination with the club, the city can schedule significant public events, etc. Who's in charge of our senior center? I've submitted an extensive list of deficiencies in the memorandum of understanding to the city clerk, the attorney's office, and the city council as public comment to be placed in the record. Now, if we were to draw up a proposal, it wouldn't look anything like this. This entire idea is bad. It's a great idea for the Olympic Club, and it's a rotten idea for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Swan. Ms. Emily Stoops? Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. I live on Lake Vista Boulevard with my husband and two boys. Gideon is 6 and Franklin is 2. Our boys love using their stomp rockets or flying kites on the grassy field at Westlake Park. It's the only remaining place within walking distance for them to run around and meet other friends from their neighborhood. When Henry Dolger designed our neighborhood, he did so with the vision that the schoolyard and playgrounds there would serve the community. But after COVID hit, those gates closed and never reopened. We can't even use the parking lot as a safe place for our kids to learn how to use a bike. To think we might now lose access to the one remaining green space within walking distance of our home is unfathomable. As a working family, evenings and Saturdays are the times that we go to the park. And I urge you not to give those hours away to an exclusive private entity from outside of our city. The Olympic Club claims they want to be fair partners, but this deal is all take and no give. The proposed clubhouse and pickleball courts will erase our public space for their exclusive use. Westlake's dated playground will be left untouched because wealthy private club members don't benefit from renovating it. And worse, they plan to rip up our natural grass field, fence us out, and replace it with synthetic turf. As a scientist, I am deeply concerned about the environmental and health impacts of artificial turf. Synthetic grass degrades under sunlight into microplastics, leaching toxic PFAS, forever chemicals, and heavy metals into our local soil and groundwater. That's why Millbrae has banned artificial turf throughout their city, and why the state of California has moved to restrict PFAS and synthetic services. Beyond the chemical hazard, turf bakes in the sun and is a rigid, abrasive surface that's no fun for kids to play on. It's unwelcome environment and would erase sort of the stomp rockets and t-ball practice and things that kids love to do. Daly City already has one of the lowest per capita parkland ratios in all of the Bay Area, far below California standards for adequate community access, and our playgrounds lag behind neighboring communities. The city should be welcoming young families by protecting and improving our green space for our children, not taking it away and forcing us to go to neighboring cities just to find a place to kick a ball. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Okay, we have Rich Swan.
You got me already.
Oh, you were the first? Oh, okay. Well, you talk so well, I'd like to hear more. You know. All right, Tatum King. Tatum? Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Honorable City Council. My name is Tatum. I'm a resident of Daly City. I spoke with y'all before about Thornton Beach. I appreciate your very fast action on that. So obviously another very important issue, I think, to me and the community at large. I'm here to share my significant concerns with the Olympic Club proposal for Westlake Park. I do appreciate that the council, you all asked some very pointed questions on June 22nd about that community input as well as the memorandum of understanding. So I appreciate that, and you're asking the right questions. And I think through the community engagement, which I hope is unvarnished and truly two-way, then you'll be able to get the kind of the real information, the real concerns, because there are a lot of them. First and foremost, as my colleagues have said, it's a treasured public park utilized by the entire Daly City community. It was not set aside for private use or gain. I understand that per California public property laws, which are legally binding, Westlake Park was dedicated for public recreation use in the 1940s and 50s. A private pickleball club, an exclusive clubhouse, locker room, or whatever the current iteration is, it's not public recreation. Same thing applies to other areas that they want to invest in, right? Once they do controlled access, it's no longer a public park, right? I mean, I live right by there. I go down there probably at least 5 days a week. My neighbors go there probably 7 days a week. The dog walkers, it's a concern. I think the seniors are very concerned. I'm down there at the senior center. Hopefully they're able to speak up, and hopefully it's not just a one-way conversation and sales pitch, right? Because that's the concern. Because I also don't think they understand the impact. I did receive a postcard about the meetings. However, not everybody on my block received the postcard. So that's a problem. The other thing is that I would argue this is not a typical zoning type thing where you have the 300 feet, that really the whole city should be notified. Maybe use the Westlake Mall sign to say, hey, these are public engagement meetings. So that way you're getting everyone, that maybe folks that don't live adjacent that use that park. And we know the same thing goes for the lake, right? Everybody uses Merced Lake. It's in San Francisco there too. I guess the last point is, Olympic Park pays a reduced tax rate. They're not taxed at the best and highest use, right? So when you think about it, we're going to be subsidizing the Olympic Club, right, by providing these benefits to them without benefits to the city of Daly City. AstroTurf, a problem. We have a sewer plant. We have recycled water. We put up with the smells. Unfortunately, they've done a great job with that. We put up with the noise. We put up with the lights. But really, we have free water. Green grass, we love it. So please, we need your support in really making sure that this does not proceed as designed. And frankly, we don't need their money, right? There's other ways to do programs that are the benefit of the community. And my neighbor is concerned about the palm trees, so I wanted to put that on record as well. So thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you, Mr. King. All right, that's all that I have on Westlake Park. As I did with the other folks, I'll just make a couple of comments before you all leave. First of all, thank you so much for being here tonight and expressing your concerns. It is my understanding, as Mr. King had made mention, that there will be a meeting, and we've asked, and Mr. King is the only one who made mention, who watched the council meeting on the 22nd. I'm sorry? Oh, okay, well, yeah, but Mr. King made mention, so that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't doubt if you all have watched the council meeting, but as you all know, we ask some questions, and it's very, very important to us as well. Obviously, there will be hard decisions that have to be made, but at the same time, we depend on the community to give us your side as to what is your thoughts about it. I'm sure myself and other council members, and I'm speaking for them as well, we've read your comments this evening, and somebody wrote us, I don't have it in front of me, but somebody wrote, they did a mathematical projection and did it per acre. Was that you, sir? No, okay, but, I really took that to heart and said, oh, okay. So we will look at all of that. So no decision has been made yet. It's just a concept at this time. But please stay involved and stay informed. And please help us as well. We really care about our community as well. It's not like we're going to be bamboozled, and Daly City is important to us. After all, you folks put us up here. So just wanted to leave you with that positive note. Okay? Thank you, and have a good evening. All right. I do have one more speaker card, but that's not until we get to item number 13 and 14. So with that being said, at this time, we're going to close oral comment. And, okay. Consent agenda. We already went through that. All right. So moving on, item number 4, resolutions. This is a set time and place for a public hearing to consider a zone change, ZC 0426-1704.
Mayor.
Oh, Yes, yes.
It's,
Councilmember.
I believe it's under the consent agenda, item number 4 through 12.
That's what had me confused, I thought.
So we're on
through-
13.
Okay. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Councilmember Manalo, for the reminder. The consent agenda was approved all the way on up to item number 12.
We haven't approved it yet, but we can motion to approve
I'd like to pull a couple items, please.
with item
okay.
number 6. I'd like to pull.
Okay, so we're going in order to pull items off the consent agenda. So I'll start with you, Councilmember Manalo. Would you like to pull any item?
Yeah, item number 6, please.
6?
Yeah.
Dr. Rod, is there any items you would like to pull?
None for me.
None for you. Councilmember Di Giovanni, is there any items you would like to pull?
Yes, please. I'd like to pull, I didn't put my glasses. Number 9 and Glacier Street, number 7.
Vice Mayor, is there any items you would like to pull?
I was going to ask for 7, so we're around the same line.
Okay. Councilmember Manalo, since you made the motion, would you accept a friendly amendment to approve the consent agenda with the exception of items 6, 7, and 9?
Yes, I accept the friendly amendment.
Thank you very much. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dr. Rod. Any further discussion? All those in favor of approving the consent agenda with the exception of items 6, 7, and 9, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, the consent agenda has been approved. We'll start with item number 6. Set time and place for a public hearing to consider a zone change, ZC-06-26-017-088, amendments to the city's inclusionary housing ordinance. Mr. Lunkhausen, good evening,
Yes.
sir.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council. This is related, items number 6 and number 5 are related to essentially the disparate impact analysis of which Daly City participated with 6 other cities in San Mateo County to basically evaluate the impact of a new regulation or a change to the city's inclusionary zoning law that would essentially give preference to Daly City residents in the selection of and placement in affordable housing units. There was a need to conduct a disparate impact analysis to ensure that protected groups of the population are not negatively impacted by the city's consideration of such an ordinance amendment. And the disparate impact analysis determined that if 70% of the units could be allocated to the city's people who live and work in Daly City, there would be no disparate impact that would occur. And so essentially, this is a setting time, and there's 2 items that are related to this. There's an acceptance of the analysis, the study, and then there's the setting time and place for the city council to consider the ordinance. And that's essentially what these 2 items are about. So if there's any questions related to that, we've attached the disparate impact analysis to the staff report of item number 5, and we can go over any of that if you feel the need to do that.
Thank you, Mr. Lunkhausen. Who pulled item number 6? Oh, okay. Councilmember Manalo, you have the floor.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Director Buckley-Housen, for your work. I pulled this item not because we don't want to set the time and place. I think what's important for the public to know that the request for this type of zoning is so important as we've seen a decline of population in our latest census. And that means when you hear that, there's people that are moving away from Daly City. And so we know that we want to make sure that families that have grown up in Daly City are able to afford in Daly City. And so
I appreciate it. I know a couple months ago, I did ask for a request to look at our inclusionary housing ordinance to see how we can assess this and give preference to those that live in our city. I think that we've seen it, we've heard it. We see how inflation is rising. We see how the cost of purchasing a home is very high, and that given the studies that you've provided, it's something I think that is important for us to move forward with it. And it's, because that type of preference I have seen when working in the city and county of San Francisco. And that type of preference allows for, if you did live or work in San Francisco, you have a priority. And it makes sense as we build these units in our city that those, don't have to move as far as Tracy, as far as Stockton. We hear a lot of that folks have moved far away because of affordability. And so I just want to say that for the record, it's important for us to look at this ordinance, and I appreciate the work and the request to do so. Because we do need to look at our ordinances, and I believe that we did put that in our below market rate also ordinance, that we should be looking at it at an annual basis, but we have not. And so I'm glad that this is here at the forefront. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Manalo. Any other comments from my colleagues? All right, seeing none and hearing none, I'll defer to Councilmember Manalo to make a motion to approve item number 6.
Thank you, Mayor. I gladly make the motion to approve item number 6, set time and place for a public hearing for the amendments to the city's inclusionary housing ordinance to give preference to households that live or work in Daly City in affordable units.
I like to second that.
Thank you, Councilmember Manalo. Thank you, Vice Mayor, for your second. Any further discussion? Okay, on the motion, let me see, voice vote. All those in favor of approving item number 6, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes. Moving on to item number 7, accept the notice of completion for the RO 572 streetlight conversion project. I believe it was Councilmember DiGiovanni who pulled this item. Good evening, Mr. Cosgrove and Ms. Chen. Thank you. You have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mayor, Vice Mayor, and members of the City Council. I will hand over presentation of this item to the Acting City Engineer, Shirley Chan.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Council members. Tonight, staff is recommending that City Council authorize the filing of the notice of completion and accept the improvements completed for the RO 572 streetlight conversion project. On February 24, 2025, the City Council authorized the award of the construction contract to Mike Brown Electric in the amount of $1,469,564 to complete the streetlight conversion project, which replaced high voltage streetlights with standard 120/240 multiple service parallel circuits. There were about 38 streetlights surrounding the Westlake Shopping Center, and conversion of the streetlights to parallel circuits will reduce the maintenance costs, power consumption, and minimize large area streetlight outages and increase lighting reliability. So Mike Brown Electric completed all the improvements required by the construction contract for a total amount of $1,532,976.70, which included 5 change orders in the amount of $63,412.70. This represents a 4.3% of the original contract amount, and the change orders were needed due to alternate construction method, changes to streetlight pole material, and an addition of a rectangular rapid flashing beacon system that was installed on Park Plaza by the Safeway driveway. The construction contract was completed for about $1.5 million with funds available in the Transportation CIP project account 217-67400. At this time, the contractor's work is complete and acceptable for city maintenance. The city staff recommends that the council authorize the filing of notice of completion and accept the improvements completed with the construction project. Staff is available for any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Chen. Since Councilmember G. Giovanni pulled this item, I'll let you go first, please, with any questions for staff.
Thank you. First, I'd like to say thank you for the report for both of you. And I know this has been a long time coming, and that it's the beginning. I know it sounds slow to the public, but having the conversion of the streetlight project is a big step forward. And I know that Mr. Chu was a big part of it. And although he's not with us, but I'd like to thank him publicly, and you as well, Ms. Chan, and all the engineers and everyone that put forth a lot of work in this. And we're happy that this will be something that won't have the outages like that are constant. I mean, we have a big city, but it is a conversion project, and they are working very hard to let the community know, and that it was a one step forward and a long time coming, but great work and more of an informational and a thank you. So thank you very much. And please tell everyone, thank you very much. A lot of work, but thank you.
Thank you very much.
Public
Councilmember.
safety is number one.
Thank you very much, Councilmember D. Giovanni. Any other comments? Vice Mayor, you have the floor.
Thank you. One of the items that when I would speak with friends in public who live in Daly City has been about the lighting. Many of us know, or some people may not know, that the old lighting systems that we have in pockets of the city of Daly City are original, and those parts are no longer available. And so that was one of the first things I asked about was the lighting, because I have some coworkers and some friends that live in areas where when the lights go out, they're out for months because there are no parts. And there used to be one factory that made the part, and then they closed. So I just wanted to just point that out so people understand it's not that the city of Daly City didn't want to fix the lights, is they didn't have the parts. So fast forward to what you have completed, and my hope is that we go to each part. There's different I don't want to say districts, but areas of the city of Daly City that have the old lights. Is that like 7? How many are there?
There's probably about 14 more areas.
14 more that are the old lighting.
Right.
Okay. So this is the first. And I would just say, besides thank you, because it is a huge thank you, can you give us a slight, a little synopsis of what the difference is now that the job has been completed with regards to lighting?
So one of the changes that we made was replacing the fixtures. So they used to be high-pressure sodium fixtures, and now they're all LEDs. So the light is probably brighter than what it was before.
And so the LED lighting, they last longer.
They last longer, and they take up or they consume less power.
Okay, so it's a win-win. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Any other comments? Councilmember Manalo?
Thank you so much, Mayor. I just want to say thank you for all your work on this. I know, as mentioned and echoed, that this has been an issue for a very long time. I remember, if Mayor remembers, when we first onboarded onto the city council, we heard about it in all the different neighborhoods. And we learned about exactly how it was an antiquated system. But it's great to hear that we're moving forward. And my question I have here is, when I look at the map that you mentioned, so this is just, it looks like it's surrounding the Westlake Mall, right? That's kind of like the,
Right,
as I
so-
look at the map. Yeah.
Right. So the circuit that we replaced surrounded the Westlake Shopping Center.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, obviously it's a central point, and as mentioned, it's a start, and then all the other areas. Thank you.
Through the
Thank
chair.
you. Yes. Thank you, Councilmember Manalo. Tom Pigalotti, our city manager. Sir.
No, I just wanted to add that this project was done prior to our pilot study to go to solar. So this is probably and hopefully one of the last one that uses power to power the lights in those grids. There are other grids being replaced with solar, and we're hoping to continue that as well. So I think it's important to point that out, that this project was already in the works prior to our pilot study that we'd done for the last couple of years to go to solar streetlights.
Thank you, Tom. Actually, it was the vice mayor who asked the question of Ms. Chen, and Ms. Chen later on answered with a word. And I don't know if the vice mayor caught it. And we were looking at the benefits, either than going sodium lighting to LED. Also, if I'm not mistaken, Ms. Chen mentioned circuits. And if I'm not mistaken, we've moved away. There's a difference between series and parallel hookup. And can we explain that, the difference between series and parallel?
So the series circuit works like the old Christmas tree lights, where they're all connected like daisy chains. And so with the parallel circuit, when one light goes out, the whole circuit isn't impacted.
So in this particular case, is it series hookup?
No, this is parallel now.
Oh, this is parallel. So if one light goes out, they all go out?
No.
Oh, okay, it's the opposite. I got it the opposite. I'm just testing. Okay, but great job. And I think that has been an issue, especially when we talk about the RO circuits. When one goes out, everything went out. So this is good. Good news. All right, so item number 7, I'll turn it over to, I'll defer to Councilmember DiGiovanni for a motion.
Motion to approve, to accept the notice of completion for the RO 572 streetlight conversion project.
Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Manalo. Any further discussion? All those in favor of approving item number 7, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next item is item number 9. Then we'll be done with the consent agenda. Approved designation of entertainment zones pursuant to Chapter 5.96 of the Daly City Municipal Code, SB 969. Councilmember DiGiovanni pulled this item, and we have Ms. Maybelle Magno to present. Ms. Magno, you have the floor. Welcome. Good evening.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Vice Mayor and Council. Before you tonight is a resolution establishing 4 initial entertainment zones within the city: the Mission Corridor / Top of the Hill area, Gellert Park, the Civic Center City Hall area, and March Bank Park. These locations are depicted in the attached exhibits and were selected because they are existing community gathering spaces that are well suited for festivals, civic events and activities, recreational programming, and economic activation. Earlier this year, Council adopted Ordinance Number 1487, establishing Chapter 5.96 of the Municipal Code in response to Senate Bill 969. That ordinance created the legal framework for entertainment zones, but it did not establish any specific locations. Under both the ordinance and state law, individual entertainment zones must now be designated by council resolution before they can ever be used. And tonight's action completes that next step. So this does not create permanent open container areas. It does not automatically authorize alcohol consumption in these locations. Instead, it simply identifies the areas that are eligible to be activated in the future through the city's special event permit process. And why these 4 locations? Mission Corridor, Top of the Hill supports our festivals and commercial activation. Gellert Park is frequently used for recreation and community programming. City Hall provides a central civic gathering location, and Marchbank hosts neighborhood and other community events. Designating these locations now gives the city flexibility to incorporate entertainment zones into future events where appropriate. And as always, public safety remains the city's highest priority. Even after tonight's action, police retain full enforcement authority. ABC retains full authority over licensed establishments, and every activation will be reviewed through the special event process. And the city may also impose event-specific conditions to address security, traffic, sanitation, alcohol service, crowd management, and emergency response. In other words, every event is reviewed independently based on the size, location, and operational needs. The economic development benefits, of course, entertainment zones are intended to support our local businesses by encouraging visitors to spend more time in our commercial districts during approved events. And rather than limiting activity to individual businesses, the program allows patrons to responsibly move throughout the designated public spaces during approved events, creating a more vibrant experience while maintaining appropriate controls. There is no fiscal impact associated with designating these entertainment zones. Any costs associated with future activations would continue to be addressed through the existing special event permit processing and applicable cost recovery measures. This is another tool that helps Daly City remain competitive with neighboring jurisdictions while supporting our restaurants, hospitality, businesses, and community events. So this resolution completes the implementation of the entertainment zone framework adopted earlier this year by our council by identifying 4 initial locations that may be activated through the city's, again, special event permit process, and provides flexibility for future community events while preserving the city's oversight and commitment to public safety. Staff recommends adoption and is here for any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Magno. Councilmember DiGiovanni, you can.
Well, I pulled this item to even thank you for the detailed report, you and Rose, of all the details, because a lot of people always ask the part about the alcohol, the calling. So I want to make sure to note that it was an excellent job, detailed enough and very clear and concise report. And thank you for the work that's done on it, because that way, when people read it, there's no questions really to ask, that they can really read it. And that I look forward that hopefully this will be the impetus for your department especially to move forward in whatever you need to do to develop the entertainment and whatever you need, especially for the top of the hill. And so I thank you for that and the hard work, and to our city attorney. So thank you very much, and for the awareness of the public. Appreciate it. Thank you. Very detailed.
Thank you, Councilmember DiGiovanni. Any other comments?
Yeah.
None? Oh, Councilmember Manalo.
Thank you so much. And so I remember passing this, and so at that point, this time, we're just now updating the ordinance
Right.
to include the locations and some
Yep.
specificity around how it's going to work. Because I do remember asking what procedure is, and having the chief involved, right? So it's just a update.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Through the mayor. I just want to make sure, well, people know that, but they still ask.
Hold on. Wait. I'd like to offer everyone a
Okay.
chance before it comes back to you, if you would like to speak,
Okay, thank
council member. Is there any other comments from any of my colleagues? Vice Mayor, please.
Thank you, Mayor. So first of all, thank you. And yes, I do recall this, and I think it's very important for the public to hear and understand that this is for special events. We're not just saying, here, we're going to sell alcohol and walk the streets. So I thank you for explaining that. And I look forward to our Top of the Hill event in October. So thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Dr. Rod, you didn't have any comments?
No comments.
Councilmember DiGiovanni, go
Yeah,
ahead.
just to clarify, when people call and ask you questions as a council member, it's just to be pulled so we can answer their questions, Ms. Manigo. So it has nothing to do with anything else. People do know, but they don't watch our meetings every night. So I appreciate you taking the time to come up. And I know a lot of it's a re-edification for some of us, but it's not a re-edification for those that ask the questions in the community. Because if they call and ask the questions, I want to make sure that they are provided the answers. And even if it's re-edification for all of us, it may not be for them. And so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilmember DiGiovanni. Anyone else for a second round?
Thank you.
None? All right, thank you very much, Councilmember DiGiovanni.
Yes.
Would you like to make a motion?
Yes, I
Or
would.
I'll pass it on.
I'd like to approve the designation of entertainment zone pursuant to Chapter 5.96 of the Daly City Municipal Code, SB, I believe it's 989.
I'll second that, and I just want to say, I think it just helps with the flow of when we have large events, indicative of our Top of the Hill Festival, Kasayahan, and all of the wonderful events all our staff put together, right? So it just helps with kind of the flow and not having to approve an entertainment zone every single time. So, thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Manalo, for the second, and for the record, it's SB 969 instead of
Yeah, thank you.
989 that was included in the motion. All right, any further discussion? All those in favor of approving item number 9, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes. Thank you
Thanks,
very
Manuel.
much,
Thank you,
Ms. Manuel. All right, that's the end of the consent agenda. We're moving on to item number 13, approve use permit UPR-03-26-017020 and design review DR 03-26-017021-3 Serramonte Boulevard. And we have Mr. Felding here with us tonight, who's going to make the presentation, and welcome Mr. Lunkhausen as well.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. The item before you this evening are the planning entitlements of a use permit and design review for a new restaurant with drive-through located at 3 Serramonte in the northwest quadrant of the Serramonte Shopping Center. Staff has received public comment, and this is an outline of the, actually, we received 4 public comments. We received these 2 emails prior to the Planning Commission hearing, and then 2 additional emails were received today. The concerns from the comments were related to bicycle and pedestrian improvements and also traffic concerns. This is the project area. It's located in the northwest quadrant of the Serramonte Shopping Center. These are the existing site photos. From left to right, we have the mall entry looking south. The mall entry, the other one looking south. The mall entry looking north. Mall entry looking south. The project site looking northwest. The site looking north. And then the retail looking south and retail parking lot looking southwest. The project site is located under the general plan designation commercial, retail, and office and zoned planned development. 69. The surrounding uses include commercial to the north, Callan Boulevard to the west with Highway 1, and residential to the west, Interstate 280 to the east, and Serramonte Shopping Center and commercial to the south. The applicant and property owner, Regency Centers, proposes to construct an approximately 5,250 square foot restaurant, Building A, with a drive-through on a vacant lot with a parking lot located at the northwest quadrant of Serramonte Shopping Center. They have also requested approval for an option to have a retail center with loading dock use at the site. The project is part of a 3-building project that includes a retail building with corner restaurants and another restaurant with drive-through, and a parking lot, pedestrian improvements, and landscaping. So this is Building A, the 5,250 square foot restaurant with drive-through. This is the project detail. The design includes a contemporary design with a mixture of materials, colors, and architectural elements, an outdoor front patio, a drive-through lane for 11-car queue, and then trash enclosure. The required parking would be 21 parking spaces for the restaurant. Go back. Sorry, jumped ahead here. And then, let's see. The proposed parking lot would have 81 out of 211 parking spaces, with 11 accessible spaces dedicated to buildings A, B, and C. The applicant would submit a traffic study to evaluate the impacts to traffic circulation. Oops, go back here. And pedestrian safety. The project also includes landscaping trees for the entry drive, parking lot, and pedestrian areas. Shrubs and ground cover plants are also included. This is the location of the restaurant with a drive-through. This is some details of the traffic circulation. Here we have the parking and traffic circulation, pedestrian safety. The drive-through queuing for the drive-through building A, which provides a single lane for 11-car queue. And then the second drive-through building C will provide a single lane for a 12-car queue. This is the information here about the traffic circulation. So there are two conditions of approval that we'll look at updating the traffic information as far as the traffic counts and looking at whether a signal would be needed at one of the intersections located at the Southgate Avenue entrance to the Sermonte Center. The project itself already does include pedestrian, pedestrian and bicycle improvements. So the project itself will upgrade all of the sidewalks surrounding the northwest quadrant, and also includes bicycle parking for the 3 buildings. This table shows the parking required and the proposed parking. So for building A, that'll have 21 parking spaces, building B, 48 parking spaces, and building C, 11 spaces. So there'd be a total of 81 spaces out of that entire parking lot that would be dedicated to these 3 buildings. This slide just highlights sort of the traffic improvements. And on the left, you'll see the narrow circle there. That's the sidewalk that's going to be added back. Right now, the existing sidewalk is not there, so they're going to add that back. This is the floor plan of the drive-through restaurant. These are the west and east elevations. These are the north and south elevations. And these are the exterior materials and colors. So for building A, the materials will include blue stone, wood cladding, and painted charcoal and gray concrete. The facade articulation is also achieved through a combination of the materials and colors and a cantilevered window and door awnings. This is the landscape plan. The proposed restaurant and drive-through is located in parking lot 10A, which includes trees for the entry drive, parking lot, and pedestrian areas. Proposed trees include ginkgo biloba, golden rain tree, autumn blaze maple, elegant water gum, coast live oak, sawleaf zelkova, bohol maple, and strawberry tree. There's also a variety of shrubs and perennials and ground cover plants that are also included in the landscaping. This is an overall rendering of the site looking west. This is looking at the drive-through looking north and looking west at the retail buildings. And the other photo there is the rendering of the retail building looking north. These are the trash enclosure plans. These are the use permit findings. The staff has determined that the project, we completed a review of the proposed restaurant with drive-through and determined that the project meets the findings for a use permit approval. And these are the design review findings that the city council will need to make. Planning staff has completed the design review of the site plan, building design, materials, and colors, and the landscape plan for the restaurant with drive-through, and has determined that the project meets the findings for design review approval. Planning staff completed the CEQA environmental review for the proposed project and determined that the project is categorically exempt per CEQA guidelines, Section 15332, for an infill development project on a vacant lot that meets the conditions for a Class 32 project. Staff recommends, so this isn't the right presentation. Yeah. So staff recommends that the city council take the following action. Recommends the city council approve of a use permit and design review for the construction of a restaurant with drive-through building A on the northwest quadrant of Serramonte Shopping Center plan development. This concludes the presentation. Staff is available to answer questions, and we also have the applicant and the project architect available to answer questions.
Thank you, Mr. Felding. If we can have, I'm going to open it up to my colleagues for any questions, and I think it would be very helpful if we have the applicant up as well, and maybe they can chime in whenever you feel that is more appropriate for them to do so.
Sure.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Would you kindly state your name for the record?
Sure. Kurt Utterback.
Oh, okay. Okay, I happen to have a card from you.
There it
but-
is,
but-
magic green
But
card.
we didn't open the public comment we didn't, until we open that, then we'll defer for you to make any comments that you want to make. But right now, it's questions that any one of us may have. And since you're representing, if you can just answer the questions, but we'll give you some time to speak as per your comment,
Thank you,
okay?
Mayor. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, great. I'll open it up to council for any questions on Mr. Felding's presentation. Vice Mayor.
Good evening. Thank you for being here. I wondered if we could go back a little. I know that there's concerned people talking about or asking about pedestrian walking. And if you maybe could kind of go through, I thought there was a photo that kind of showed trees and walkways, and I thought perhaps that might be a good question to ask, because I know I was reading, we have somebody who's concerned about that, pedestrian. So if you would kind of maybe highlight or discuss the pedestrian, is that okay?
Yeah. I'm on the same page as you, Vice Mayor. I think it was L2 was the diagram.
Yes.
Or was it slide number 12?
I didn't count the number,
I
I'm
was.
sorry.
I'm looking down
I
in the
thought I
lower
saw
right.
trees and walkways, and I thought
Right.
that would be a really good opportunity to discuss pedestrian walking.
Keep
So we
going.
back. Went
Keep
back.
going.
There it's
No,
getting close.
You should see the trees, too.
You should see trees, right?
Right.
Okay.
Keep going. There you go.
There you go.
Right there.
Yeah.
Is that helpful for you to explain it?
And I'll certainly do the best I can.
Okay.
I'm definitely not an architect, but I do have my architect here tonight too that I can call on as well. But really, just the improvements I think that are needed, and I'm sure you all do too, with the sidewalk currently not operational from Callan Boulevard down as you walk to Macy's on that
Yeah.
on that right-hand side. We're definitely going to add that back in. That's part of the plan. So you'll have a connection point from there. You'll have a connection point. Well, we already have one from Southgate, but coming in from Southgate to the front of Macy's, for example, on the sidewalk, you'll have a connection point there. I think the best way I can describe it after being out there a little bit is what we did with Starbucks and Chick-fil-A and the crosswalks that we put in there and the pathways, the connection points, how you can get there easily. You'll see the exact same thing, I think, on this project as well where needed. So certainly something we want to address from a pedestrian standpoint, from a bike standpoint. That is certainly part of the plan and the detail we're going to go through. The landscaping is similar to some of the upgrades we made throughout the center. We want to match that kind of to the existing. I wish everyone would take the right path of travel rather than going through the shrubs and the bushes that we currently put in, but you can't stop it all the time. But I definitely think, without getting into too much detail, you're going to see the pedestrian pathways and the connection points to the various parts of the center as an important point of emphasis for this project.
And so may I? That portion, just so people would understand, is that the portion where we used to have the Denny's? Is that
Denny's and
kinda what I'm
Firestone.
talking-
I think it was the Denny's and Firestone. Yes, correct.
Oh, yeah, and Firestone was more on this side.
Right.
We're talking. Okay, so that being said, it is kind of like a dead end. You walk, and then you can't go anywhere. So it's nice to see that
Right.
we can continue. If somebody was at Macy's and they wanted to walk over,
Absolutely.
it would be,
Yeah, keep that flow, keep that point of access.
and give bikes and
Bikes,
pedestrians.
wherever you might park, right?
Very
When-
good.
When you go to the center, we want to kind of encapsulate everyone and put it into a one-stop shop experience. So if you parked inside the parking structure, you parked on the other side of Macy's and you wanted to access this, it'll still be accessible.
Very good. That was a concern. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Any other comments?
Oh, go ahead, Dr. Rob.
Dr.
Want to
Rod?
go first?
You go.
Dr. Rod?
Okay. I guess my whole thing is to always kind of start from the beginning. Origin stories really help me out here. And then just also kind of also addressing like what the BPAC is trying to come forth with. What was the intention for a drive-through restaurants when we already have? Is it just because it's a good like focal point and access to?
Sure. I would say
Okay.
pretty simple. It comes to supply and demand. There's just
Okay.
still a lot of demand out for drive-throughs, convenience, Uber, DoorDash, people
Gotcha.
going to pick things up. We thought it was a good area to do that. And by putting the buildings inside, we thought it would reduce the queuing that you might see. And that should probably come from the traffic study, but just from a personal standpoint, out into Callan Boulevard and Southgate. So we thought it was an ideal spot to do that and really just to activate this side of the center. A lot of the other pieces of the center, I feel like we've touched and we've activated quite a bit.
Right.
And this is kind of that last piece that feels right now. And we could talk about the past too if you want to jump into that a little bit. But really feel like it's kind of the last piece from all the work we've done. And as we continue to develop the center to kind of change that area into an active community serving area, much like the rest of them all. So really, it was more along what do we need? You're constantly evaluating what's in the inside of the shopping center. Great. Well, who are we supplying that to? What's on the exterior of the shopping center? Who's going there? How do we get more people to the shopping center? So you're taking all those things into consideration, but also, it also comes down to, well, who's going to lease the space from you at the end of the day?
Okay.
And to make the project viable.
Okay. I had a chance to kind of watch the planning meeting a couple weeks back. I knew that we originally had this spot right here. And this is before I was on council, where there was supposed to be a hotel. Can we provide some information
Sure.
on why that just didn't come about?
Absolutely. And this was before my time too, so forgive me if I can't go too far back. But after COVID hit and we looked at that project and there was a hotel and also a possibility of a theater, both would have been fantastic because when I come here to ceremony, I can't stay up here and I would really love to. But at the end of the day, it really came down a lot of it to economics. It just doesn't pencil anymore when you're trying to look at the costs for building, when you're trying to see how you can fit it into that project, when you're looking at traffic, when you're looking at what the center overall can take and what it looks like. Unfortunately, and you guys probably know as well, hotels are very difficult to fund and extremely difficult to build from costing measures. So it really came down to that. For the theater, they just opened the Regal over at Stonestown. We have one it's at Century, I think.
Yeah, Century.
That's not that far away either. Honestly, with the theaters that we do have, they're kind of on life support right now. We're still trying to figure out what's going to happen with theaters. During COVID, they were obviously hit hard. Some are coming back, some aren't. Patrons are starting to go there more. Hopefully they're getting into that social environment where they're feeling like they don't have to do it. But Netflix and Apple TV still rule at home, and it's not cheap to go see a movie either. So from an economic standpoint, from a build standpoint there, also theaters are very expensive, but more for a longevity standpoint, it just wasn't in the cards right now. I'm not saying later on down the line, as theaters evolve, that couldn't be a possibility, but we also thought it could be problematic in some ways with the access to theaters near Ceremony now. What would that do? Would we be able to sustain sales? Would the customer be able to do it? Who would you draw in? So a number of different things went into it, but really as you came down to it and you look what the cost to build was and if it would pencil, it wasn't penciling.
And then a couple more questions.
Sure.
How will pedestrian safety be protected in this area?
That one I might not be able to answer. Well, I would hope. Similar to how we've done, I think, from the other developments we've done. So if you look at the Starbucks, you look at Chick-fil-A, similar to that. We're making some improvements, as you know, to the rest of the center too, over on the northeast quadrant, and then also by Target in those areas and those entrances. Staff can go into it maybe a little bit more of some other areas near the bus stops in the back that we're trying to make improvements. So we're constantly looking to make improvements, and obviously customer safety and pedestrian safety is the utmost importance. We do not want anyone getting injured, and we want ease of access in and out of our project.
And yeah, we can add on to that. We gave the Planning Commission an overview of some of the pedestrian improvements that we've worked on with Regency over the last, say, 18 months, and some of those are being installed now and still will be installed in the future in other parts of the center. In this particular proposal, however, you see the red arrows at Callan Boulevard. So there's some staircases essentially because there's a grade change between the sidewalk and the site, and staircases that are proposed. We don't know if ADA is going to allow all of those. The Americans with Disabilities Act has to, factor into this. But we hope that the most southerly one, so the middle red arrow, will be installed. We've talked to the building division about trying to make that happen. And leading from that is a pedestrian paseo that goes in between the drive-through and Building B. And then I don't know if there's any way for anybody to kind of show where that is. So it makes it easier for people who live in the neighborhoods that are west of the shopping center to cross Callan and then come into the center more easily through along. I think, if you could just move that right down. Yeah, there. There's a pedestrian paseo that goes through the parking lot. So it's like a sidewalk, an elevated sidewalk that goes through the parking lot. So that is something that's actually new to the center, where there's that sort of we call it a paseo, and that'll help get pedestrians through to the shopping center in a more safe manner.
Thanks, Michael. All right, man, that's all for me.
Thank you, Dr. Rod. Good questions. Councilmember DiGiovanni.
Thank you. Kind of piggybacking. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
I think we're answering the questions that most of the people in our community right now. So one of them, besides Ms. Hugh and others, is I think the drive-through about the queuing and their concerns for each drive-through, the peak conditions, how long the cars have to sit there for the queuing. Secondly, I think that the pedestrian bicycle review at points where the drive-through lanes cross walkways, I think you addressed that one. And a traffic study, I think that is also in there as well. But the queuing and, let's see, satisfaction on the other one. And I think that's all that was addressed in many of the comments for the traffic study as well, right?
Correct.
Yeah, before anything else is improved, yeah. So I think we've covered most everything in the safety. Yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember DiGiovanni.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Before I go, Councilmember Manal, you have any questions?
Sure, thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you for your presentation. I think there were always a lot of questions around, is there anything that's going to happen on that side? And I think that Dr. Rod asked those questions around, okay, there was a hotel or a theater planned, obviously through the, where the economy is right now. And so those are prepared for 3 separate restaurants.
It'd be 2 drive-throughs and then possibly a corner restaurant on the main building, the 12,000 square feet. So you'd have a corner restaurant and a corner restaurant.
And then I do know that, as the staff mentioned, there are some conditions on approvals specific to the traffic study, which I think, is some concern that I hear and echoed by my colleagues, especially around the pedestrian safety, bicycle safety in that realm. Can you point to some other, projects you've had in the past that have a similar pad or footprint, so that, that you've done?
Trying to think of in the area. We just did one in Walnut Creek at Willows. And that would probably be the closest one that I can think of right now. No pictures today or anything along those lines. Again, I would probably just point the best viewing for who's online today and for you all to see is really what we've done throughout the property. So how did you connect the Nordstrom rack when we did that it was before my time and before Regency, but how did you connect it? How did you connect the Starbucks and the Chick-fil-A? I know I keep bringing that up, but I'm trying to give a visual on how you kind of connect those things to help quell some of those concerns that you're looking for, within the project. So I'd kind of point to that, but we do have 488 shopping centers throughout the United States. We do this for a living, and we want to make sure that access is safe and easy for the customers to get in, because the easier it is, the more they'll spend and the better off the tenants will be, and the happier, hopefully, all the consumers in Daly City will be. So,
Well, we do know that a lot of people like to shop at Ceremony.
thank goodness. I'm grateful for that.
And so that is really great. And to have more options, I think, is a great addition. We've seen tremendously what the offerings have become, and I think, we see that there's a draw. And I think that's just some of the pieces that are addressed through our staff's recommendation. But I see, rather than a empty lot, something there, with the right size and also just the parameters of safety. I think it's better to have something there than an empty lot. So.
If I could add too, before, when it was the theater and the hotel that you were talking about, 85,000 square feet, right around there. Now it's down to around 17,720. If you took away the Firestone and the Denny's, which was 12,500 approximately, you're really only looking at 5,000 new square feet of GLA to kind of support it. So as you start to look at that, and I'm sure this traffic study will bear that, you're more than likely, and I'm going out on a limb, going to get less traffic visits a day that you probably would at a theater or at a hotel or something along those lines. So keep that in mind. I'm speculating again and probably shouldn't be doing that, but we are reducing the footprint from where we were before, which I would think, unless we do something major there, which I don't anticipate, it would, where someone's extremely successful, it's gonna cut that down a little bit.
Well, I do know that people miss the 24-hour Denny's.
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't miss moons over my hammy? Come on.
Thank you.
Okay, Councilmember Manalo, thank you. Vice Mayor?
Thank you. And I think something that stayed in what Michael mentioned is that there are items that have already been in the works with a Ceremony Shopping Center, and that's what I was thinking about, that we haven't seen yet. So these improvements for the pedestrians and for bicycle and all that, this is coming, it's upcoming. Is that what you said? I just double.
Correct. We gave a presentation to the Planning Commission just as a
Yes.
piece of information, and we can give it to you as well, that talks about some of the other improvements that are going on in the shopping center aside from this site. In front of Dave and Buster's, for example, in front of the new restaurants, for example. The city staff about 18 months ago walked the site with Regency project manager and identified sort of hotspots for pedestrian issues. And the Regency, told us that they could address some of those, and they've done so, and they're still working on that.
So it's in work in progress.
It's a work in progress.
That's why. So if somebody goes, where is it? It's coming.
Right.
That's what I'm asking. Okay.
In regard to this particular site, there was going to be Crunch Fitness was going to be replaced
With a movie.
with a movie theater, and then Crunch Fitness was going to move onto this site with the hotel. So that's what the original plan that was approved by the Design Review Committee 6 or 7 years ago, and of course, COVID had other plans for the site, and that's sort of why we are where we are with the property right now. It's the requirement for a use permit for the drive-throughs that brings this project to the City Council tonight, and without that, all of these other uses would have been allowed by right, essentially Design Review Committee approval, possibly.
Thank you for the explanation. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
I was just going to add the pedestrian connection also going through the through the parking lot. There's a crosswalk near where the buildings are, and then it goes where those line of 4 trees is. There's a sidewalk there, and then connects down to the bottom. So that's like another way to, that the applicant has created a pedestrian connection. And of course, the sidewalk all the way around the entire site.
All right, thank you. A few questions. I'll start off with ingress and egress. So the Callan Boulevard, looks like you have an ingress there where you come in. That's at the top, So once you get in, and Building A, would you have to make a right turn to get into the queue?
Oh, yeah.
So if you come in on the Callan Street side, and as you're coming in, and I guess you're heading, let me see, in the easterly direction, in order to get into the queue, would you have to make that immediate right turn to the right side of building number A, or do you have to continue and go to the left side of building number A?
To enter the queue for the drive-through.
Building A.
Yes. I believe the site plan, yes, thanks for that, requires you to drive furtherly east to enter the parking lot first and then join the queue.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, and according to what I've read, 11 vehicles. I think it'd be much more easier for me to understand if I knew exactly how the queue is going to go. That's number one. Where is Southgate entrance? Can you put your mouse cursor
It's right
over?
by the north arrow in this, the right north arrow.
The right north arrow?
Yes.
For some reason, I think I'm a little bit confused because I thought Southgate was on the other side of the entrance.
Southgate's on the right side of the screen.
That's what I'm thinking. So it's not the top.
That's
bottom.
Callan.
That's Callan. So I can't see the entry from the Southgate side. I'm only asking these questions because I got something that's coming. So where's the Southgate side? Where's the entrance?
I think I understand. Are you looking, where's the entrance if you were to make a right in the from Southgate into the project?
Yes.
You
So
don't.
would that be
there,
building
there
C?
is- there is no entrance. You come down and you enter in the main road there, and then you make a right after the crosswalk down on the bottom. So if you're worried about queuing, you wouldn't make a right into the project. You have to come into the center and then make a right to get into the queue.
No, I'm not worrying about queuing.
Okay.
I'm worrying about the ingress and egress. And I know we have a Southgate entry.
That's right.
Right across from the plumbing.
That's
Or
right.
the past
okay.
plumbing.
Right. It's a three-way stop right now.
Right here.
Yeah. Exactly.
Southgate.
Oh, no, that's a better, okay, but,
That's the driveway from.
oh, that's the driveway.
That's existing.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good. All right. So why did I ask those questions? I'm concerned about the letter, and I'm trying to address some of these issues where it says air quality and idling emissions. So if somebody came in on the Callan Street side and drove around to get into the queue, I'm just wondering about the air quality. Can it really affect people? Because we already have a drive-through there now for Chick-fil-A and Starbucks. So has a study been done on Starbucks and Chick-fil-A as to what the air quality is of idling emissions?
There was none required for those two drive-throughs, and there has not been a
Thank you.
subsequent study.
Thank you. Okay. So is it possible that we can have newer type of vehicles that traverse the drive-through, that the engine shuts off when they stop, and then when they start moving, they start up again? Is there a possibility?
Well, that's already part of the current carburetor system, I believe, under the emissions control
Okay,
laws.
great. You just answered my question. Is a possibility that folks can be driving electric vehicles and go through the queue?
Certainly, yes.
Okay. Is it a possibility that instead of coming in on the Callan Street side, that they can come in on another ingress to Ceremony Center and not have to worry about idling emissions until they get down to that area? Could they come in from the southern end
That is also possible, yes.
or any other entrance?
Right.
Okay, thank you. To help with the vice mayor, yes, we were planning to have Crunch Fitness move over to where the Firestone was and put in the movie theater to where Crunch Fitness was for two reasons. And one of the reasons is not many people were utilizing the 5-story parking lot. And when people go to the movies like they do on JS, they utilize that parking lot. So that was one of the things. Public health impacts.
Right.
Today we had a discussion on diabetes. If I'm not mistaken, we got a Cheesecake Factory coming in.
Yes.
That's correct.
So when people
Buffalo
say,
Wild Wings.
huh?
Or Buffalo Wild Wings was. Cheesecake Factory is
Yeah.
completing a tenant improvement. Yes.
Well, what I like to get at, I know what Cheesecake Factory is, and basically I wouldn't go eat a meal there, but I'll eat the cheesecake. And being a diabetic as it is, I shouldn't be eating the cheesecake. But I don't have to go there.
Mayor, they have sugar-free cheesecake.
I'll try that. I'll try that, Councilmember Dowell. Thank you. Thank you. And
We can pick up the cheesecake.
it says 5 unhealthy food outlets for every healthy food outlet. Do we have any grocery stores planned for any one of those within?
No, sir.
No? Okay, so I guess it's just going to be different food shops or whatever?
Smaller
We don't-
drive,
Yeah.
what's that?
No. Go
Oh,
ahead.
smaller drive-through food locations. So think about
But I'm
2,000 to 4,000 square feet. If we did one on the corner, maybe you do 4,000.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the strip that has the Building B.
Building B? Mhm.
Right.
It'd be smaller. They'd be much smaller units.
Okay.
Like 2 to 4,000. maybe.
Okay, so there's one place I like to go to in Siramonte right now. It's called Marufuku.
Marufuku? Mm-hmm.
I love going there. Is that unhealthy? I mean,
I'm the wrong person to
you know,
ask.
I'm trying to understand the reasoning here.
Yeah, we need healthy.
Well, the
You
good
know.
news is this. I don't know if you know, but Cheesecake Factory has a Skinnylicious menu, and everything under there is 1,000 calories.
A skinny delicious.
I go there quite often because I
Okay.
have similar concerns at 52 years old that I cannot sustain the calorie intake that I used to as
Right.
well. So,
Right, okay.
or you're welcome to split maybe 3 ways or 2 ways with any one of your family members as well on Cheesecake.
Well, that's why I
So-
always take my wife with me,
Yeah,
because we
there you
always
go.
share a
Smart
meal.
man.
That way I don't have to eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
And as for Councilmember Manalo, I didn't know about the sugar-free cheesecake, so, I'll be looking into that. Healthier dining options. So,
We need health.
what I'm getting at is, if you don't like the food, you don't go there. I mean, I don't go to Chick-fil-A every day. I'm not saying it's unhealthy, but
I would say this. I would say we're now at, I think, just almost at 40% of our tenants at the center are food options. And there's going to be great food options for everybody there. We've certainly have it covered, healthy options as well. You know, once everything's done and the construction is settled a little bit, because right now it's a little crazy, but that's a good type of crazy, I'll be more than happy to provide a tour for you and we can visit some of those establishments.
okay, be careful what you wish for.
No, it's okay. I don't mind doing that at all.
And for the vice mayor,
Yes, sir.
no, vice mayor, I have something else for you.
You have something else for me?
So, as the gentleman made mention, he wasn't here 5 or 6 years ago, and during COVID, and I do remember that we were looking into getting a Gen Z restaurant.
Gen Z restaurant.
Gen Z is almost similar to
Or the
Fogo
Gen
de Chao,
barbecue.
where you barbecue at the table.
Oh, the Gen Z Korean barbecue, correct?
Right,
Yeah, I got it.
and
That's not
because of what's
Is
that?
that healthy?
Oh, that's all meat. That's protein. But anyway,
And there's drippings.
but they pulled out because of COVID. So as you had made mention, we were supposed to get the hotel. They pulled out. So what I'm getting at is it's dynamic and it's fluid. Things change. I would rather see something in that location, and we try to mitigate every aspect that we can, whether it's bicycle, whether it's pedestrians. And from what I've read, it looks like we're doing that. We're doing the best that we can, especially with some of the changes that's coming down the pike to be made. But I tell you, I've driven, I go by Ceremony many a times because I go charge my car there, and I see it. And when I'm on that top floor, on the 5th floor, and I look over the ledge, what are they going to do with that property? What are they going to do? And, you know, in a way, I don't blame Regency because I believe Ceremony is thriving.
It is.
You know, I'm not going to make mention of other shopping malls and to one that we're losing down south, but, you know, I think Ceremony is thriving. So that's some of the questions I wanted to bring up. Let's see, did I make any other notes? Ingress, egress, prior hotel. Oh, okay. So basically, since the hotel is not coming and Crunch Fitness is not coming, and if we didn't have this project here, what can we put there?
Well, Crunch Fitness is there. We just haven't moved them. Remember, they're still
Okay.
operating at the shopping center. So
Okay.
that's a good thing.
Okay, so if we're going to have Crunch Fitness and we're not going to have the hotel, what else can we put there? You know, I'm trying to satisfy the conditions here.
Absolutely. I think that's what the beauty of it is. I mean, we're still looking right now and we're still trying to meet the needs of the market and meet the needs of the consumer there. So it definitely doesn't behoove us to duplicate things, you know, at the end of the day. So we're trying to offer for the consumer and the resident of Daly City to not have to leave Daly City to still get their daily needs. So that is what we look at every time we go into and we look at a project and what we could put there. Ask what you could put there. Candidly, it's what you can build, and it's what will get leased at the end of the day. That's usually what's the driving force behind it, and also what the community needs. Because again, if the tenants aren't successful, we're not successful, and all we're doing is turning around again and reletting the locations and the stores there. So we want to make sure it's successful and meets those customer needs, and that's what's most important.
Thank you very much. I have no further questions. I
Mayor?
believe the vice mayor, she's
I
just
do.
keep making all these
That's
signals.
all right.
and not-
I'm making little finger marks, yeah.
Vice Mayor,
I was
please.
just going to answer a question when you said if there's a grocery store in Target, there's
I'm
grocery
sorry.
store, as well as
Jagalchi.
Jagalchi, and as well as I would say is it's a choice on what we choose to eat. So we've all probably been to Cheesecake Factory, and although the first thing that calls your name is that big cake and cheese, you could choose salads and all that. And there is a nice restaurant, a little restaurant that opened a few months back. I'm looking at Marie, and I went in with my granddaughter, and it was soup. It was soup with veggies and
Marafuku,
yes.
the ramen Marafuku. That was
was
good,
good.
right?
You have to say that's healthy, right?
That's Marufuku.
Yeah, that's healthy, right?
Oh, I don't know. Noodles may not be healthy.
I
for
didn't
some
have a
folks.
lot of noodles. I had a lot of broth. But anyway, I just wanted to just say, I think it's exactly what the mayor said. We choose to go and eat, and we don't eat a certain thing every day. There's some people that eat McDonald's every day, I mean, but we,
I used to.
yeah, but not anymore. But what I was going to say is there's a little bit of something for everybody.
Well put.
And also, we should give kudos because, is my understanding, we are one of the top 10 still. We are one of the top 10 in the nation. Ceremony is, do we know what number ceremony is? I know it's in the top 10.
With Placer AI, and which is basically monitors traffic, we're in the top 10 in the country in regional shopping centers for traffic.
So
They have us at about 16 million people a year.
And we thank the city, I know, may I just say, on behalf of our city manager, I'm sure, and we're very happy that that happens because we, the city, benefits on your success. So thank you.
We all benefit.
We all benefit. Yes, we do. Thank you, and thank you.
Are there any other questions before I open it up to public comment from anyone here on the
I have a last
dais?
comment.
Oh, Councilmember.
I mean, everyone keeps bringing up the options of food. I'm gonna say it. Sweet Green. Have you ever looked at Sweet Green?
Who are they?
That's
No, I'm just
healthier,
joking.
a healthier option of salads. It's called Sweet Green.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. See. Yeah. So, just as we talked about healthier options.
The list is long, and they are included on that list.
Thank you.
Good.
I don't know if they have. It's in this food court.
All right, what I'm going to
I'll
do,
think in here.
any other comments from the dais? Hearing none and seeing none, we're going to open it up to public comment at this time. And I do have a card. Is your first name Kurt?
It is. Yes. Mayor.
Oh, okay. There it is. Kurt Utterback.
Utterback.
Utterback. Sir?
I have
You
the
have
floor
2
again.
minutes.
Wonderful. I don't have to move. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the City Council. My name is Kurt Utterback. I serve as the Market Officer for Regency Centers, overseeing the Pacific Northwest region, including Ceremony Center. Thank you for your opportunity to speak this evening in support of the proposed 17,720 square foot retail development. Regency Centers is proud to be the steward of Ceremony Center. And since acquiring the property, we have made significant long-term commitment to Daly City through continued investment and redevelopment. Our goal has been to ensure Ceremony remains a vibrant community destination that meets the evolving needs of residents, visitors, and local businesses. That commitment includes a $30 million interior renovation that modernized the shopping center with upgraded flooring, lighting, common areas, and entrances. We have expanded dining and retail options through the addition of Starbucks and Chick-fil-A, transformed the former J.C. Penney space into Jagulchi Market, a unique cultural and culinary destination, and introduced new restaurant concepts including Koi Palace, Cheesecake Factory, Marugami Udon, Fogo de Chao, and Heidi Lau, which will replace your Gen Z. We'll talk about that later. These investments have strengthened Ceremony's role as a regional destination while creating new jobs, attracting visitors, and enhancing the overall customer experience. The project before you tonight represents the next chapter in that vision. It will provide additional retail opportunities, further activate the property, and continue our efforts to create a destination that serves the diverse needs of Daly City community. We believe this development is consistent with the city's goals of economic vitality, investment, and providing high-quality amenity to its residents. Regency Center remains committed to being a long-term partner with the City of Daly City. We appreciate the collaboration and support we have received from city staff and look forward to continuing to invest in the community for many years to come. We respectfully ask for your support and approval for this project. Thank you for your time and consideration. And may I say, the staff has been fantastic. I have done this for over 30 years, And your city, you have a lot to be proud of. They're really fantastic as partners and collaborators. And we don't always get it right on our end as developers, and we need the help of the city and the combined resources in order to get it right sometimes. So thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Otterbeck. Very good words and good comments. And believe me, you haven't been the only one who's come before us and have complimented our staff. And to that staff, I really appreciate what you all do and the support that you give to all folks, and especially all our developers, because it's very, very important for our city. Okay, so with that being said, are there any other comments before we call for a motion and a roll call vote? Oh, before we do that, I would like a motion to close public hearing on this matter.
So move.
We have a first. Is there a
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? All those in favor of closing the public comments at this time, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, the motion passes. Now I'll entertain a motion to accept item number 13 on the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second?
We have a first by Dr. Rod and numerous seconds. Any further comments before we take the vote? On item number 13, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. DiGiovanni?
Aye.
Dr. Rod?
Aye.
Ms. Perano?
Aye.
Ms. Manalo?
Aye.
Mr. Sylvester?
Glenn Sylvester, aye. Congratulations. And the next item is basically the same item, but it's pertaining to Building C. Apparently, they separated. But, Mr. Felding, is there more to this? I mean, if you want,
Yes,
please.
I just would like to go to slide 16, which is, if she'll pull that up for us. Thank you, Leilani. So the one difference is the exterior materials and colors. And so the exterior materials for Building C are going to include a blue stone base facade, wood cladding, and painted tan color concrete. The parapet walls and varying materials and colors will also add architectural interest. And the facade articulation also is achieved through the combination of the materials and colors and the cantilevered window and door awnings. And that's the main difference in the buildings. Also, it's a smaller size. It's a 2,800 square foot building footprint.
Thank you, Mr. Felding. Any questions?
I have one quick question.
Dr. Rod, please.
Is there any potential vendors that we know that are going for these locations? Just to kind of.
Kurt Etterbeck, Ceremony Center. There's a few. It's a work in progress. You're kind of dwindling down. We have a long list, especially with our shopping centers and our presence throughout the United States. We're looking at really what best fits there. I know there was some concern before, just regards to the size, like if an In-N-Out or Chick-fil-A or something along those lines. These buildings aren't, and the area is not big enough for that. Okay. So it is going to be smaller, like maybe possibly Coffee User, possibly some other names that some people mentioned this evening. So
ice cream.
There's a few, but nothing to that size. If that was any concern and the impetus of your question.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilmember DiGiovanni.
Yeah, everybody else is throwing everything out. I just know one that makes money, but I don't know if the ceremony is the perfect. Dutch Brothers and Apple.
Both I love, and I will say we have talked to both. Apple, probably you would want them in the interior of the shopping center.
Oh yeah, we love to have them.
I think we were supposed to get an Apple on the southwest side. We were supposed to before they built all the Ross and everything like that.
Thank you, Mayor.
So, I can't go on record, but I can tell you I talk to them frequently. So I don't keep our fingers crossed.
It would definitely go.
Thank you.
Any other
sorry.
any other questions for Mr. Otterback? You know, you sir, you say all the right things.
Tell my wife that, please. Thank you.
All right, sir. All right. Any other questions? Hearing none and seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to accept item number 14.
Like to make a motion?
Second?
Motion by Vice Mayor, second by Councilmember Manalo. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. DiGiovanni,
Aye.
Dr. Rod,
Aye.
Ms. Perano,
Aye.
Ms. Manalo,
Aye.
Mr. Sylvester.
Glenn Sylvester, aye. Thank you very much. Motion passes. Good luck, Mr.
Thank you.
Otherbeck. And I'll be looking for a salad place.
Got the ribbon cutting that way.
And congratulations. All right. The next item on the agenda is appointments for board, commission, membership, committee appointments. Anyone?
None for me.
None. Okay. Moving on to council committee reports. Hearing none?
Oh, I just.
Oh.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I just have one quick. I wasn't able to attend the new branded Westlight Energy Board, but I was able to speak to some of their staff, and they gave me kind of like a couple of highlights for this meeting. So one of the highlights was Westlight, formerly known as Peninsula Clean Energy. The build out for the new building is underway in San Mateo, with demolition beginning in July 15th with an October move-in target. They also had a Westlight hosted an EV-ready ribbon cutting at Peninsula Pines Apartments in South San Francisco on July 29th, celebrating installation of 200 EV charging ports, the largest multifamily installation in the state. And then there's also upcoming events that they'll be tabling at. So the Family Resource Day, Daly City, EV showcases, backpack and food distributions, disaster preparedness. And this is something, that's the reason why they call it. They're going to be doing a fall summit at Skyline College at the Farallon Room, September 30th. And they're inviting students to share spoken word poetry based on clean energy. And hopefully, like the top student will receive a small monetary gift for being number one poet based on that theme. And that's it from that.
How do they apply?
They're still trying to get that underway. Yeah, I just spoke to the staff like 3 days ago. And so, yeah, that's still in the works, but that's what's planned for there.
Thank you.
September 30th. It's supposed to demarcate the 10-year anniversary of Peninsula Clean Energy / Westlight, and as kind of like a precursor to the move-in date.
Nice.
Yeah. And that's it for me, Mayor.
Thank you, Dr. Rod. Are there any other council committee reports? Councilmember Manalo.
Thank you so much. I attended the July 16th BOSCA Board of Directors meeting. During that day, we did get a budget status report. We also had the SFPUC talk about the water's operations and design drought. Also at that, we had the status of the capital improvements for WISIP and also BOSCA's long-term reliable water supply strategy for 2050, as well as the emergency resilience framework. The reports from our CEO was around the Bay Delta Plan FERC update, the CEO, General Manager, performance evaluation, and then also that was pretty much most of it, and also the board calendar for the upcoming year. The next meeting that we'll have is on September 17 at 6:30 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Manalo. Are there any other council committee reports? All right, moving on to item number 16, city council reports.
I
Oh.
could go. Oh, city council, no, this is events.
Yeah, that's,
I could do that,
That's it.
okay. I was going, where should I jump in? Thank you, Mayor.
All right.
I'll make mine quick. Let's see here. We were at the Samoan flag raising, and we had, I will say many of us, make it quick and easy, but many of us were there. It was, what my favorite part, and then other people may talk, was the presentation of the history, showing the photos, telling us the history, and just being able to listen to the music and having that prayer and listening to history. So I wanted to say I was honored to be there and to participate. Magical Bridge, I think we were all there for the Magical Bridge groundbreaking. The Council of Cities dinner was in San Mateo, and they had a tour of their water, wastewater new plant. The mayor was there, Councilmember Jesselyn Manalo was there, myself. So that was really nice. Police cadet badge pinning, we attended that, as well as I'd like to put a shout out to Chuy Gomez and Keith O, Matt DeVincenzi at Classic Bowling. As a Lion, we participated with they and other organizations, the library, Park and Rec, I believe, and Bank of America, a few other sponsors, City of Daly City, and they collected hundreds of backpacks, and that will be delivered to the library to then she's looking at me going, Shella's not. And so that was something that it was really nice to be there. Lion Jesselyn was there as well. What else? Sunday Backpack, Classic Bowling, Council Cities. And I'll throw out there, Wednesday at Pacelli Gym, they're going to have the discussion about the park, Westlake Park. And also, we're getting close to National Night Out, August 4th. So that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Any others? Councilmember Manalo?
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to say that it was really wonderful to see, and I want to say thank you, Mayor, for the invitation for the Comrade Energy tour. I know that they had reached out to you, but you extended the invitation to all of us so that we could see the updates. And I think, obviously, when we do make decisions on the council, it takes some time for us to see progress in that realm. But to see what's happening there is very important, especially in the Bayshore area. So I want to say it was nice. I felt like, with our little construction hats, we're able to see that progress. Also, a Vice Mayor mentioned about the police cadet badge pinning, and it was here, and I think what was really special about it was hearing some of the police cadets wanting to become Daly City police officers. And hearing that was like, oh, they are going through this, but they feel connected to community and wanting to serve in that way. And so I know that was really nice to see that the youth, want to give back in that way. I also attended the HCDC public hearing study session for the housing and community development of San Mateo County. And what we do in that committee is we look at, submissions for affordable housing development projects that the county approves. And so that happened, and there was a study session to look at all the particular housing opportunities all across the county. And then, oh my goodness, what a beautiful treat to see Daly ukulele. And they did all the Beatles songs, and it was just a sunny day to watch them be able to perform, and for all of those in the audience to sing all the Beatles songs at the same time. Also, the Magical Bridge Playground on Hillside Park. I mean, it was a sunny day. I mean, like no fog, beautiful, and I think a moment that we've been waiting for with community together for a very long time. And to have the groundbreaking with former Assembly Member Phil Ting and my colleagues on the council, as well as Mikey Enriquez, whose family brought this up many years ago, was a special moment for really, this park is intergenerational, so everyone watching, it's for youth and older adults, and for everyone to be able to recreate. I know that there was a comment, and I'm sure our city manager noted that we're trying our best with what we have, and I know there was a comment around having, I think, upper body
Pull-ups.
Pull-ups and whatnot. And I'm sure if that we're able to that's something we would do. But really joyful event. I mean, it was so hot that day that there was even shaved ice. And it was perfect. And so also, I sit on the City County Association of Governments, and we had an executive committee on a search for the new executive director, and that is still ongoing, and glad to be part of that process so we could find a new executive director. Also joined the San Mateo Labor Council dinner, and I know that Mayor was there as well as Dr. Rod. And I think we've just had so many wonderful, eventful days on the event and the Mohinga Day. And you know what? I will say Daniel Lee, and you keep pointing fingers and saying he goes, it was Mayor's idea. And then Daniel Lee is like, no, Mayor goes, no, it was Dan's idea. I was like, it's both of you guys' idea. So I think it was just wonderful that we were able to highlight, and it was the first one, Mohinga Day, to honor the Burmese Myanmar community. And it was overwhelmingly really a success. So kudos in that realm, Mayor and Daniel Lee. And then with the Samoan flag raising, I definitely echo, I was sitting right here to hear the history of what happened in their country and how they were able to share, and to have someone from the lineage of, I think Dr. Rod always mentions it, where our origin story and how things have come to be. And I think that was really, really a special moment to hear the history directly from the lineage of the struggles and the resistance of the Samoan culture. But also so beautiful to another sunny day, right? That last Saturday. Thank you so much to Reina, who always have had the vision to bring community together, from Pacific Islanders together. And I know that was your childhood friend growing up in Daly City, Vice Mayor. Also, seeing the San Mateo water and wastewater last Friday with Mayor and Vice Mayor, it just also, we were able to see that plant, but I know we have our own, but they showed us that it was digitized now on panels to be able to see where exactly issues are. Yeah, 6 of them. And so I think, what we're able to do at the Council of Cities dinner is where you have 20 other cities together. It's hosted in all the different cities to learn best practices and how we can be able to share what we're doing in all of our cities. And so one thing I did share with them is, are they using their real-time information center to also help them look into their wastewater so they don't have to go into the site? And they go, huh, we haven't got there yet. And so I know that we shared that. That's something that we do here as far as our Daly City police officers with a real-time information center with those drones. We're actually able to use it with our wastewater department. So, I mean, that's just being able to use our resources efficiently. And then also the 10th year backpack giveaway. Every year it gets larger and larger. And so I just want to say thank you to the business of Classic Bowling for always hosting. And so what it is, if you bring a backpack, they offer free bowling. And so, like, if you bring backpacks, it's like an exchange. And so it's, really a fun time sharing with children on, like, what you're able to give to others, but also have a good time with family. And so thank you so much to exactly Chewy Gomez, if you know Chewy. Also Keith O, Matt DeVincenzi, and then Angela Lagarta. And it was really great that our Lions helped out this year. Proud to be a Lion in that realm. But I also want to bring up something that I would like us, hopefully to study. And it's looking at ways that we can, some counties have looked into this already, but I feel that, with everything that's happening around the nation, we've been a long city of immigrants. And so other counties and cities have looked at ICE-free zones. And I think that if we are able just to look at how we can make sure that all our community members feel safe, and they've done this in other counties and other cities, and it's nothing different from what our values are in the city of Daly City. But I think if we were to look at how we could do that, because we want everyone to feel safe, whether they go to our city hall, libraries, community centers, and just to reiterate how we support everyone in our community. And that's something to look into. And then I also definitely look forward to National Night Out. It's always such a great event with our public safety officers, our police and fire. I think, it's an event I know that community loves to enjoy. And I know, thank you, they were just here earlier, ceremony, right? So it just talks about like how everyone really works together in our community here in Daly City. And that's something right around the corner. Yes. Yeah, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilmember Manalo. Anyone else? Councilmember DiGiovanni.
For the brevity of time, I won't go and repeat everything, so I'll save everything. Excuse my throat here. But I want to thank Denise and her staff for making sure that the Beatles, that the ukulele band, and they were fantastic, by the way. And that hopefully, I'm sure there'll be more of that. And there was an artist, she painted the yellow submarine, and she said she'll probably be bringing that to the art. It was really, really, I mean, obviously the words come back when people are singing. So it was one of those great fun times where it was like so many people in the cafe, everywhere, and it was great. And then hopefully next year, if there is any city, because it's a city event, so if there's any presentation that we all are there to present any certificates together and sign them together, and not have, just one person sign a certificate. So all of us together as a city event, it'd be great. And then also the Beatle event, and of course the Samoan, I'll make it short. American Samoa, they explained the whole history, and the pastor that explained it, it was his family that went through the struggles and the resistance, and it's similar to some of the diaspora and things like that we learned from people in our communities of their own home countries. And so that was a beautiful and meaningful event. Thank you, Raina, Pacific Islanders, everyone involved, the bishop, the pastors, everyone in the community. Thirdly, I don't want to make sure I don't miss anything. The backpack was also great. I went with Vice Mayor Mark Nogales because he's right there at Westboro. His matter of fact, Matt lives in his district, so so it was great to see them too, chatting it up. That was great. And then also, because when you give back the backpacks for the children, I noticed that they were taking pictures of people donating. Then you get to bowl for free. And everything that our vice mayor said on the events. So I'd like to end this with thanking Richard Chu, who is our Public Works Director, who I only recently found out that he is not with us, and I think he went to San Jose. But I would like to publicly thank him for everything he's done, his his value system, how he treated his employees, the projects, having patience with us, and wishing him the best. So thank you, Richard Chu. If you get this message, we appreciate you, and you will be missed. I would like to bring up I think when we bring up subjects, is as we know, the Cow Palace was given a presentation by the Global Stack, which are part of the data centers. And even though the footprint would only be about 5 acres, it was given that, and they are in a process of a memorandum of understanding, which means it's not done yet, and the board of the Cow Palace needs to vote. But I think that even though it's not part of us, that we should look into what other places are doing and do a moratorium on our no data centers and make sure that we take a stand together and really let people know, because I don't think, and I don't want to speak for my council and my mayor, that I think any of us, we're trying to put a project of 13.2 acres on ours that would, I definitely don't think that if we had any senior housing or whatever we decide, that it would coincide and be amenable to the people in the Bay Shore or the project that we may be entertaining for that area. And so if we took a stand, maybe it would send a signal, and the mayor is our is someone who's our spokesperson. So in certain things for the media, and therefore, so I'd like to entertain that we put a moratorium or make sure people know that we are no for data centers, and that they let them know. We got public comments, a lot of them, letters. So I'll save the rest for the next go round. And thank everyone for mentioning all the many events, and I'm sure I missed some, but it was great that we were together for the Magical Bridge and celebrating together for inclusion, and maybe we could have one in the future at the Edgewood Park. You never know who Assemblymember Phil Ting did help us there. Maybe Catherine Stephanie would help us for the next one and continue having the inclusion, because I think that's very important. So that's it. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilmember DiGiovanni. I'd like to start off by thanking Councilmember Manalo for your very kind words on the Cormorant project. Actually,
Oh, yeah, that's a
it's
good
the
one, yeah.
full council that actually approved that. And even though I was invited, I firmly believe that we all act together. And thank you for acknowledging that, Councilmember Manalo. I really feel good about that, so thank you.
Yeah, we did.
In regards to the Magical Bridge, and Councilmember Manalo had mentioned the shaved ice. Well, after the Samoan flag raising, I had an event at the Magical Bridge in Redwood City. And I'll tell you, after about an hour and a half of being out, I let everybody else play, and I went and sat in my car and turned on the air conditioning. You know, something is about when you travel, no matter where you go, and you travel to Daly City, and you can see the mountain, you see the fog on the mountains, and oh boy, I mean, I can't wait till we get our Magical Bridge so we don't have to go down to Redwood City. The Burmese event, I showed up at the Burmese event only 10 minutes before the event. And within a half hour, 30 minutes, we had over 500 people show up. And every single one of them got fed the Mohinga Burmese dish. So it was a great success. With Councilmember Manalo and the Vice Mayor, I also attended the Council of Cities meeting, and I had my apprehensions of going down there because it said water treatment plant, you know, and I'm kind of glad I went. And looking at the presentation, number one, they raised the fees on every resident in, was it San Mateo? That's where we were, right?
How much?
And I believe Daly City was one of the lowest when we discussed raising the water rates, and Daly City was one of the lowest. We really haven't made here. But they raised the fees so that they can pay for all the modifications that they did. One of them that struck me, in the case of rain, heavy rainwater, they have a holding tank, I think it's approximately 3 miles away, so that after they filter out the water, then they release the water from the holding tank into the treatment facility. So I was so happy, and I came back and I was telling Mr. Picolotti about it, and he burst my bubble. What he said to me is, "Yeah, we got that." And I said, "Oh, okay." I thought I learned something new and can bring something back, but Daly City just does an excellent job. As a matter of fact, council member down there, oh, no, I shouldn't say that, but they did say something about the smell, so, and I know we have our issues as well, but it was good. So that's all I have. And anything else before I move on? Okay, next item is staff reports. We're almost done, folks.
Mayor, may I? I'm so sorry.
Councilmember Manalo.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, as it was brought up about data centers, I sit on the Peninsula Division of the League of California Cities, and the data centers are a topic that we have brought forth, and I think it's definitely an issue that is at the forefront to understand really what the repercussions are for the health, well-being, and also just, there hasn't been many studies if we look at it. And so I just wanted to tell my colleagues that this is something that the Peninsula Division is looking at, what has happened and transpired in other cities, and for that understanding as well. We need all the data points. This is something that obviously when we look at AI and how fast it is moving, there is a direct correlation to literally why there's a push for data centers. And so I think the safeguards obviously need to be there, and it's a policy decision that we need to look at. But I wanted to let you all know that this is something also on a regional level that it's being looked at with the Cal Cities Peninsula Division.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Manalo. And thank you for all you do in representing. All right, then, staff reports, please.
Yes, sir. Through the chair, thank you.
The town hall, yeah.
We have, I'll go over the senior focus meeting tomorrow, 1 p.m. at Dolger Center. That's for the proposed project over there. There we go. The next one is going to be Wednesday, the 29th, 5:30 p.m. in the Merced Room, also at Westlake Park. And then there's also another town hall at August 13th, 5:30 to 6:30 at the Pacelli Event Center. Those are three of the outreach meetings that are happening regarding that proposed project. Get into, well, I'd like to say that for council and those that watch the council meetings, no council meetings during August. Our next council meeting will be September 14th, just as a reminder. However, there will be a lot of events in August, so some of you have mentioned them, but I'll go through my list as well. On the 4th, National Night Out Ceremony, 5 to 8. On the 11th of August, 6 to 8, multi-generational art exhibit here on the 3rd floor. On the 17th of August, I'll slow down a little bit. On August 17th, we have the Japanese flag raising from 4 to 5 p.m. That's a Monday. Then we also have on the 19th, from 5 to 6, we have Azumizana Youth Choir concert, and that's at the Pacelli Center. On the 22nd of August, we have between 11 and 5, we have Hip Hop Day at War Memorial. So I wanted to get those things out there for the public and for the council as a reminder. Even though there are no council meetings in August, there are still, our calendar is full. I'd also like to, if I may indulge, I have a adjourn in memory, if I can start that right now, if that's appropriate, Mayor, since I have the floor.
Yes.
City Manager Piccolotti, absolutely. So we do have two this evening, but why don't you start us off? Do you have any other staff reports?
That's it.
Okay, sir.
I'll go right into that if the council will
Yes.
allow me. Okay. It's for the father of former employee Mark Pappas, who worked for the city from the day he graduated high school. He worked 38 years in the Department of Water and Wastewater. His father, John Pappas, is also a retired Daly City employee. He retired in 91. He was born September 7th, 1931, and passed peacefully on July 14, 2026. He was the youngest of 4 children born to Annie and Spiros Pappas. Born in San Francisco and raised in Daly City, he moved to Belmont in 1976, enjoyed the outdoors and especially fishing with his sons and grandsons. The family spent many summers camping in Russian River. After serving in Korea, John worked in a wood shop and where he did custom furniture. Then he became the street and sidewalk inspector for the city of Daly City. He was preceded by his wife, Judah, in death in 2011. He's survived by his sons, Mark, who I mentioned before, John, Michael, and grandsons Andrew, Stephen, and Derek. Services will be held at Crippen and Flynn in Belmont on Saturday, August 15th at 1 p.m. And in lieu of flowers, donations can be made to the USO or any organization that supports veterans in the military. So I worked with Mark a lot of years, and I wanted to bring that up as a former employee, both of them, and Mark is a dear friend of mine, and I wanted to honor him by adjourning in memory of his father. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Piccolotti. Next, I have Councilmember Manalo with an adjourn in memory.
Thank you, Mayor. Before I do my adjourn in memory, I just wanted to say for our city council report, I just want to highlight and give thanks to the city manager for offering all of the opportunities on the Olympic project. I think there's some concerns around thinking it's already done, but I think having the opportunity to hear from the residents is so important. I just want to say that, and you've listed numerous times, but I want community to know that is your opportunity to share exactly how you feel and what you want to see, or what you want to see, what you don't want to see, right? So thank you for that. Thank you, Mayor, for allowing me for that personal privilege that I forgot. But this evening, I want to say deepest condolences to Art Bellinson. His wife had passed away earlier this year, but this is what he mentioned. This is about my wife, Elma Pea Bellinson, who was born in the Philippines, December 1939, and her parents were Isabel Matic, a Bible worker. Her dad was Galasio Peña, a police officer in Manila. She finished as an optometrist and a paralegal and worked in the fiscal office in Calican City. They got married in 1969. They have 3 children, John, Eric, Elizabeth, Elma, and Elizabeth Elma was also a professional vocalist, active member of the church, and was active in educating children and became the manager of SF Junior Academy. She worked at UCSF as an editor of School of Pharmacy. She became the president of the Filipino Workers Association at UCSF for many years. The best thing she accomplished was raising John, Eric, and Liz. She will be missed so much for her devotion to spiritual needs of the community and raising all responsible children. He mentions he will meet her in another life with God. as Elma set a good example as a mother to friends and community. She has lived in his heart for so many years and in his heart always, and she accomplished so much good. And that is for Art Bellinson's wife, Alma Bellinson. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, thank you, Councilmember Manalo and City Manager Tom Picolotti. That's all we have this evening. If we can kindly please participate in the brief pause for our recently departed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this meeting is now adjourned. Stay healthy, stay safe. And we'll see you at the next council.